Welcome back to another episode of That Sound Podcast. Today we are joined again by Camilla, all the way from Australia in Adelaide. The Metallica tour sadly has ended, but the Metallica life still rolls on. We're still deep in. I'm, for one, reminiscing, looking over videos, looking at photos, looking at YouTube videos. It's sad it's over, but my God, I'm glad it happened. Camilla, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. Just like you, on the same train, just trying to get back to normal. And funnily enough, since I got back for like a week now, I've been jet lagged the entire time. So I'm still in Euro time.
Okay.
Like, I don't even feel slightly or remotely tired. It's almost midnight here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like noon in my
I
body.
know, like you have done
Crazy.
some amount of traveling this summer. Like I couldn't believe it
Yeah.
after London, which we will get into. Like you were straight back to Australia.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Did not sleep.
One thing I do want to address, I might start coughing in the middle of this because I, for one, have just been ran down, and I only did a. I think I did 8 shows. I think 8 or 9. I don't
Yeah,
even know what I
about
did.
eight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know how you guys do it. There's no denying for somebody that is not aware, traveling around Europe. Europe's not huge, but you're jumping from plane to plane and traveling here and there, and lack of sleep and stuff. It catches up with you, and it caught me. But you guys were fine. You guys got through it. I don't know how. Was there any bumps in the road, Camilla, on the body?
Not really. It's something that I always fear because there's nothing I hate more than being sick on the road, especially flying with bad sinus, and then you get the ears. Oh no, like that is the worst, and I try to avoid that 100%. I was. I'm not gonna say that this is my remedy or like my little tip for next time,
Yeah,
but I do rely heavily when I'm on tour on these little shots of like ginger and turmeric and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like if I can have one every second day, plenty of water as well, because I do realize that the more I drink water, even though I'm sightseeing and then obviously then I have to pee, which is annoying because there's no public bathrooms everywhere.
yeah,
And I do get pretty shitty with that.
yeah.
Water makes me feel good and it kind of, hydrates the body, keeps you well. That's all I really do. And obviously, I don't try to stay out when it's cold or
Yeah,
have enough layers on me, stuff like that. I
yeah,
got lucky this time because last tour I did get sick really badly.
yeah.
But thank God this time it was fine.
Because I know you grew up obviously in Chile, and you live in Australia, and you're used to
Yeah.
the warmer climates. But like Europe has been hot this summer.
Oh yeah, like I don't think I had like a European spring/summer. Like it felt pretty warm, especially the second half of it, the June bit of it. It
Yeah.
was pretty consistently hot. As far as rain, we didn't really get any rain other than Dublin one. It was
Oh,
like a little bit of
we
rain,
were always going to get rain in Dublin.
but it was not terrible. And the second day was perfect. Like the weather was lovely, and as long as I don't get wet, I'm fine. Like getting wet really annoys me.
Oh yeah,
I can handle the heat, the cold, but the rain it really shits me.
yeah.
So
Like
we got
when you're
lucky.
damp at a show and you're mixing with people, shoulder to shoulder, all it takes is for one person to have a cold, and then everybody has
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
One thing that
Yeah,
just popped into my mind,
100%.
Camilla, and we are going to go through show by show. But Dublin night two, that sunset during
The what? Oh, the sunset. There
yeah.
were a few sunsets actually. There was one in Frankfurt that was really stunning. Frankfurt one.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there were a few beautiful sunsets, and I think the Dublin one that you're mentioning, it only came to memory recently, a couple of days ago, because I've been watching the Met on Tour videos, and I think the whiskey in the jar one, I think the sun was still coming down on that
Yeah.
side, and it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that everywhere else. Like I did tell a few of my friends, Chilean friends, that not always do shows in Europe. Like seeing Metallica in Europe at this time of the year, you get shows in daylight, you get sunsets like this. You have that natural element to it that you could never get in the US or even
Mm.
here in Australia because the shows start way too late and yeah, it's never just like clear enough. So
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great night. I remember I think it was around drums too. I forget. I'm terrible with set lists, but I think it might have been like the Unforgiven or something. Maybe no, maybe that was later on. But anyway, I got a beautiful shot that I think Metallica actually reposted of Kirk Hammett with Greenie, and the sunset was behind
Nice.
them, and it was really really cool. But yeah,
Beautiful.
we'll get to Dublin. So yeah, you obviously hit a big milestone in London, but we will get to it as well. It all kicked off in Athens early May, right? Which was the first one. That was my first time visiting Greece. Had you been there before?
I had in 24 as well.
Oh,
I think they had 2 weeks off, and I went to Greece because it's one of the few countries that I always wanted to visit, and Metallica doesn't go there often, so I just squeezed it in at the time. But when they announced that they were playing Athens, I was stoked. I was like, there ain't no way I'm missing this one. That
yeah.
there ain't no way. But yeah,
It was one that popped out at me as well. I remember hearing whispers. We were all talking in forums and stuff. Have you heard? Have you heard? I had heard about Dublin earlier. I had heard maybe 2 weeks before the official announcement, and I heard Aviva 2 nights. I'm like, no way. Obviously, that one stuck out to me. But when I heard Athens, I'm like, just like you, I'm like, I gotta do this
have
one.
to be there.
I like
Yeah,
Athens. The fans are known, and we've seen it. We can talk about it in a minute, but there's something cool about Athens. I remember as a kid reading the books when you're younger. The Acropolis and all the history with
yeah,
Athens. I'm like,
100%.
I can do this and see Metallica and visit a new country. I'm like, it's a no brainer. I am doing this, even though it's a one nighter. I'm doing Athens, but I said to you off air, Camilla, since starting the podcast, I think we're about 2 years into this. I've done I don't even think I have 20 shows even now, but I've always loved Metallica, obviously. But chatting to you and other guys who do shows and do tours and stuff, I've always been on the outside. But this tour, I've kind of put my foot in the door of figuring out what the
Yeah,
tours are about and what it is to go on tour. It's more than the show. It's meeting the people. It's meeting the chapters. And I had first-hand experience in Athens, and I loved it. I remember myself and Luke landed, and I got a message, come to this address. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know what's happening, but it was the Greek chapter. So
yeah,
I talked to some people. I'm like, what do I do? They're like, no, you've been invited to go hang out with the chapter. Go and do it. I'm like, okay. And that was, I know it's not for everybody, but I loved it. Straight away, I loved it. I felt so welcomed. Theodore and, oh God, what's the other guy's name? Forgive me. They welcomed me
yeah.
in. And
Crazy looking guy.
yeah, yeah. What was his name? Theodore and, anyway, it'll come
I
to me.
know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
know who you're talking about. Yeah,
They invited me in, shook my hand, come, sit, eat. All the St. Germany guys were there. Some of the Dutch militia guys were there. There was people from all over. And I said to Luke, I'm like, shit, this is what it's about. We're sitting down, we're
yeah,
breaking bread, we're having beer, and you came from here, and you're giving patches to people. I was totally green to this. I didn't know what this was about. Here's a pick, and here's this, and what this is a sticker, and it's little things, but it's really cool. I really enjoyed it, and then we went up to the tribute band, and it was great. But that was my first experience into the Metallica family. You know,
pretty good, man.
yeah.
It doesn't normally start like that for everybody. Like it can
Okay.
be a very, very daunting world to step on. I don't know. Like when I started, yeah, of course you have a podcast, so
Yeah.
you do have network, which is it's obviously a benefit, which is also great because it made you feel welcome from day one. But I'm not saying that, oh, I was alone for so long or
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't. I was lucky, I was around the right people at the right time and they took me right in. And a lot of these guys are still touring to this day, and like I don't know, people like Eric from Sweden, he when I met Eric, he was 100 shows in, and this is like 2012 or something. And he was so generous with his time, his actions. But yeah, it's great to feel welcome to, something that is so big, and then that it starts off great for you. It can only get like even better. It's something that I really treasure about the community. And obviously, just like any other community, you get bull crap and stuff and
Of
politics.
course.
But as long as you hang out with the right people, you're sweet.
Yeah. I like you said, I think we were lucky. Like this podcast isn't huge. It's growing slowly, but I think it did help. Like you said, like if we just rocked up like two regular guys, we wouldn't have
Who
been,
are you?
invited in or
Yeah.
whatever. But and to this day, Theodore has become a real friend, and I hung out with
Nice.
him in Budapest, and he almost came to Dublin. But yeah, I had a great experience. I have to say, I really felt like shit. I said to Luke, like, I'm like, damn, this is what it's about, meeting the
Yeah.
people, and I'm like, I immediately felt. Shit, we gotta step up when this comes to Dublin. We gotta do something.
You guys did amazing.
Yeah,
You
we'll
guys did
get there.
amazing.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the show? One thing I think we'll probably both agree on is the atmosphere.
Athens,
Yeah,
for the longest time, and like if I can be real, because like Athens was amazing.
yeah,
And like I kept saying, like, I for one will tell you that I have this thing, this me thing, that I tend to skip the first show of the tour. Like, I tend to,
okay,
because it's always okay.
yeah,
Correct me now. It tends to be shitty. They're still a bit sloppy, finding their feet again. Oh, how do we play the guitar? How do I sit on the drums? And like, it tends to be sloppy. Plus, first set list never really has a lot of like amazing
yeah.
things
Same.
happening. So it's a safe one to skip. Now, we were just saying, first one was Athens. So we were on. Like, I was not going to skip Athens.
Yeah,
In fact, I did not skip any, but that's also another thing that kind of happened because of the war and stuff. Anyway, I do think that Athens competes on a league of its own
yeah.
because of the energy felt in that stadium. I do think that, I don't know, the set list wasn't anything extraordinary. It
No.
was fairly average.
Yep.
But then the videos are there to back it up. And this is insane because I was lucky to do snake pit at every show this tour. Yeah, every show. And sometimes I do a few outside, but this tour I was in all the time. Thank God, because it makes it so much easier. You would know this now.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier. But being in the snake pit is almost like separates you from the outside. Like, it will isolate you from the outside. And so when we were jumping to For Whom the Bell Tolls, I was with the Turkish guys, and I was like, there is such a big vibe happening, but I could not see it because, like I said, the stage is high. I am short, can't see what's happening on the outside. And then, yeah, a few days later, I see the videos, and I'm like,
Yeah.
are you fucking kidding me? That was going off
Yeah.
back there? Like, that's insane.
It
It was
was.
so cool.
It was intense. I'm trying to think. I think that's the only one that I did out in the GA as well.
Yeah.
And I was at like tower. I don't know what the tower numbers are. I still don't know. But I was on Rob's side, I remember. And I was like just in front of the tower. It was so packed that I could not. I had my arms like kind of up here, kind of whatever way I was standing. And I literally couldn't put my hands in my pocket to get my
That
phone.
was so packed.
It
Yeah.
was rammed. Like they're saying, what it brought me back to was like I felt like it was a show back in the early 2000s. It felt rowdy from the minute you
Yeah.
landed at the show to go in. It sounded like in a good way. It like
Yeah. Yeah.
just felt you felt this energy that I don't think I felt in any other show. That it was like we're ready to go. Like these fans were ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I had the same feeling. I feel like it was electric almost, like you were in the vicinity and you could just feel it. And then the show starts and it explodes.
It
Like, it was
exploded.
insane. Yeah, it
Flares
did.
going off. Flares were
Yeah,
going
no.
up everywhere.
It was a great show. Like, I remember leaving thinking, oh my God, follow that.
Yeah,
Follow that.
yeah.
And then I remember in Bucharest feeling like, oh my God, like this is really nothing to what I felt in Athens. And that's how I knew that Athens would be hard to top. But then as the shows progressed, I knew that Athens was in its own league. And I like to say this because you can compare every show to any other show. But Athens was special, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It really started. Like you said, I agree 100%. It could be safe. It was a safe set list. it could have been sloppy. It could have been mistakes, but I don't think there was, from what I remember, there was nothing. They went off.
Even if you try to remember those little things like
Yeah.
mistakes and that, you won't remember the show for those things,
No,
which is the greater outcome, you know, the
exactly.
experience of
Actually,
it.
I do
Yeah.
remember things that I'm not even going to mention them, but the atmosphere and the energy overpowers it. It really does.
A
Like you
hundred
have to
percent.
dig
Yeah.
deep to remember something, and I'm not even going to bring it up. But
Yeah.
it was so good. I thought the stadium was cool as well. It was so open and
Yeah.
it was a bit,
Pretty
it was a
epic.
bit rough and stuff with the painting, but I loved it. There was something special about it, and the big Olympic village that was there, and it was huge. It was so huge.
Huge. Yeah.
They started off with a fucking bang. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I think that doesn't tend to happen. Like I said, let's use the word tend in between. And I knew this tour was gonna be amazing from the get go. I did remember Moth into Flame on the third slot, thinking, okay, we're swapping it up. Like I'm
Yeah.
on board, you know. Like even if it's not a big deal, bro. Like they do play Moth a lot, but they brought it all the way up to the third slot. That's weird as fuck, and they only did it on that one. That probably didn't work out too well.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
I do
Some
remember
set
it.
list notes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm terrible
Yeah,
with that stuff. I don't remember. I just kind of, I'm in the moment and I'm like, I'll go with it. I couldn't even tell you what they played in London.
that's fair.
But yeah, so next up, I took a break then. My next show was in Frankfurt, but between that, you had Bucharest, right? And
Bucharest and Chorzów, I think it's pronounced in Poland.
in Poland, yeah.
Chorso, how Lars
Warsaw.
calls it.
Yeah, yeah,
Chorso. And then Frankfurt, yeah.
yeah,
Those singles, so we had a four singles, as in like not doubles, obviously. They, because last year we did singles in America as well. And I remember dreading the singles, thinking like, oh, singles, you know, like you're gonna
yeah,
get the block of songs. And this, okay, take me with a pinch of salt, you know, we all complain about the block of songs, yet we still pay to go and see the band. But this is why we love the doubles, because of the no repeat factor. Like I do love that about it. Like I find it hard to go from 100% doubles in 23 and 24 to
yeah.
some singles, and they've been trying to like make them coexist almost like it's the new normal. And when you get through the singles, which, you know, after we were done with all the little cities, and then we get to Frankfurt, like a big major city, I was like so ready for the doubles. I was like, bring it on. And they did. Like
Oh,
setlist wise, I think that was the best weekend. Setlist wise.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, if we jump ahead to Frankfurt, then yeah, I was it the shortest straw? Was that night one or night two? Night two, yeah.
The two
So
leper
Leper,
and well, Until It Sleeps, which at the time was like first time on this
first
level.
time, yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, night
Yeah.
one we had we had an experience as well. That was a different experience. But yeah, night two, that was when I first was in the snake pit ever. And
So night two was your first snake pit. Where were
yes,
you in night one? Outside.
we were in the VIP upstairs.
Ah, you did say. You did say. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was fun. That was fun. That was a different
That's
experience.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Something different.
it was so like just things lined up and it happened. But yeah, it was cool. Would I pay the money again? I don't know. It was
Yeah.
you're still far back. It's a different experience. Would I recommend it? If you want to just chill out and have some beers and mingle with some people, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not the same energy.
No, 100%. The
It's,
closer you are to the band, the crazier it gets.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
The only thing would I like to experience it. I was going to say I would like to experience a tower, but I don't know if I would. You're kind of
The
out there on your
platform.
own.
Yeah, like people ask me this all the time. I'm like, would you do it? And I'm like, no. Why? Cause no.
It's
You
kind
know,
of
like it's far.
yeah,
I
it's
don't want to
far,
be far.
and I feel like look. Metallica is a money making machine. Let's call a
Oh
spade a
yeah,
spade. I
Metallica
feel like
Enterprises.
a little bit of an elitist, like you're looking down on the GAs.
Well, they do pay elite money if you
Oh,
want to
elite
go
money.
there.
Yeah,
But they were doing some upgrades, like, for Bucharest, I remember they were doing platform upgrade at the tents when you check in for I Disappear. I'm not going to say it was bargain money, but it was not the advertised money when you can buy it at like pre-sale.
for a
So
tower.
yeah, it
For
might have
platform.
been for €100. I could be wrong. Maybe you can ask someone that actually upgraded. Given €400 is a lot of money, but it's not what it would cost you on a pre-sale. Let's say that. And then, if you want to do it, experience it, then that was the chance,
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
But not for me anyway. Not
Yeah, I
for me.
kind of you kind of see the same faces too. I seen that guy from I think he's a guitar builder from Luke knew him from Norway or somewhere. I think he was at like every show. He was on one of the towers. He had a hat on him. Forgive me, I forget his name. I'm sure somebody will know him. He was on
Sure.
behind like drums 2 tower nearly every show I seen him and his guys. Um,
Wow.
but a lot of the Gojira guys were on that one as well.
Yeah.
Since that's come up, I'd love to pick your brains on the support bands. Anybody shine for you and anybody didn't?
Um, in order, and I'll
Mm,
be brief
yeah,
because I don't believe there's a big need to elaborate. Knock Loose did not work out. They were out there, they did try to do their best, but there were some crowds that did start some mosh pits, which are, it's what these guys are all about anyway. It's like
yeah,
hardcore energy at their
yeah.
shows. Good for them for having a stadium opportunity. Like, I do like metalcore, hardcore. Don't love Knock Loose, but I could sit through their set without being like, are we done yet, sort of thing. So I was fine. I don't think it was a hit. I'll use that word.
Yeah, I agree.
So Gojira, obviously, tour favorites for sure. I think everyone would agree that they are a class band. Like, they are so tight, and it's a pleasure to watch every time. My thing with Gojira, I've seen Gojira many, many times, many times. Now with this tour, even I'll say potentially over 30, close to 40 times,
Wow, okay.
because they did open for Metallica quite
Yeah,
a bit when I started touring. And I knew their music. I have a good friend of mine that loves them so much. And this tour, they felt like veterans on that stage. Like, there's been growth, and obviously they released what you
yeah.
would call their mainstream albums, where they got to the masses with bigger songs and
The Grammy
stuff.
then as well with the Olympic
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so like it was a great time for Gojira and for Metallica to be like, okay, let's bring them back on tour. Like, I appreciated them
I think it was a
consistently
great
through the
call.
tour.
I think it really was a great call.
Yeah, I think that was the greatest call
Yeah.
of the tour for a while. Pantera, no comment, and
I would like to
Avatar.
comment on Pantera, right?
Go on, go on, go
I
on.
was so disappointed.
Oh, great.
I was so disappointed.
Oh man, because you were digging them.
I was digging
I
them, right?
remember.
Yeah, I was digging them, right? And I'm going to be honest, because there's no point in bullshitting anything. I felt like they got on stage, like you wake up on a Monday morning and you go to work, you do your shift, and you come
Oh
home
yeah,
and you get paid on
yeah,
Friday.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
really disappointed me. Phil and Rex couldn't have give a shit. They
Yeah.
just got up there, did their thing. Now, I do like Zach. I excuse me. I do like his energy. He gives a lot. Charlie, he made some calls with the Anthrax and stuff like that over the summer too, and nothing. And I don't know if that shows a good character of who he is. I don't know. He obviously leaned on to the band who's paying
Yeah.
more. Does that make you a good character? I don't know. Again, that leans back to just treating it as a job and a money making machine.
It is a job for Charlie and Zach. They're
Yeah,
just
exactly.
step
But
ups. Yeah.
yeah, but Rex and Phil
Oh yeah, they're just they yeah. Like,
don't.
this is why I said no comment,
No,
because I know people will be like, "You are a little idiot. You don't understand the legacy." Sure, I
I
appreciate the
understand it.
legacy, but this is not the lineup,
I
like,
listened to Pantera as a kid growing up, and I was like, okay, obviously this is not Pantera. I can deal with it. Obviously, shit happened, and hopefully this will be good. First time I was probably excited, and and then
a 100%.
the more I watched it, I'm like, you look at Gojira. Gojira walked
Yeah,
out on
Gojira's
stage,
good.
and you briefly touched on it. When they walked on the stage in Athens, there was no, oh, we're so happy to be here and thank you. No, they came in, kicked the fucking two doors off the hinges, and blew Athens apart.
I remember the shift of energy in the pit. You know how they close the snake pit when the band comes on?
Yeah,
And then, sure enough, they're about to hit the first couple of notes. And I felt like a wave of people entering and just getting parking in front of Mario.
yeah,
That's another fun fact. That was the
yeah.
only show that Mario faced inwards.
That's right.
So that was so cool. And I was like, man, people give a shit about Gojira in Europe, like big time, big
Yeah,
time. So
yeah,
I was happy to see that, and I enjoy them consistently. Like it
yeah.
was great.
Yeah. No, I'll leave it at that with Pantera. I just overall I was disappointed. I think they could have did a better job. They have a lot of people that's coming to the shows because you have a lot of fans, music fans that might not fully agree with Metallica, and then they're like, "No, I'm going to see Pantera." I'm like,
Yeah,
to me, you're disappointing your fans because you got to give it back, man. You got to give something. You can't just go up, walk around there, and Phil does his.
yeah,
I'm like, come on, give me something else, dude. Come on.
doesn't
But
care enough.
yeah, they don't care. It's a job. It's a Monday morning.
Yeah,
Get up, do your work, get paid on Friday. Do it next week. That's what I felt about
yeah,
Pantera. But I'll leave it at that.
yeah. And with Avatar, again, not for me. Not for me. I know a lot of people may like them,
Mm.
but not for me. Like I don't recall ever seeing them before. And they do merge around with a few of the bands that I listen to aside from Metallica. I thought I had seen them until I saw them in full costume taking the stage in Frankfurt. I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing these guys.
Someone
But
said
yeah,
they
no,
supported Maiden for a while, or they played a couple of the obviously the festivals and stuff. Yeah,
right.
the first time I seen them, I think was Frankfurt, and
And they did
again,
the entire commentary in German as well, which I thought it was very not
yeah,
engaging.
that's
I
right.
was like,
Yeah,
what is All Might talking about? And then I was so confused.
yeah. I'm like, is
Aren't
it
you guys
German or is
Swedish?
it
And
Swedish?
then I was like, oh, you must speak perfect German and you're just running away with it. But I felt left out, man. I wanted to know what he was saying. And I was like, naturally not engaged,
Yeah,
naturally lost me there.
yeah, yeah. I guess the majority rules, right? The majority is German, so I wouldn't hold that against them. The theatrics
Yeah.
and stuff, I'm not a fan of. Same with like Ice Nine Kills, I was not a fan of them at all. I would say one thing about Avatar, I think they were really good musicians. They had energy. They tried. They tried. They give it their all. Like that guy, forgive me, I don't even know what his name is. I spoke to him in London actually, and I'll finish
Yeah.
on that.
The singer or who?
Yeah, the singer. Like he he
Right.
he gave it all. He
He's
give it.
invested.
He's
Yeah, he's
invested.
invested.
He gives his money's worth. Musically, I thought the drummer and the guitars and stuff was great. I think somebody said to me, "Is this like the modern Marilyn Manson?" I don't know.
No way.
I don't
That's
think so. I
I
think it's,
like Manson and I will not agree with that.
yeah, I don't agree either. I think it's just the
Maybe the
theatrics.
way he was dressed.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
the
that.
theatrics.
Yeah.
But I did. They were in the pit in London, and I said, you know what? Because I'd say a lot of people are just like, not even acknowledging them. And I just went over and I shook his hand. I said, I personally did. I said I enjoyed your stuff. Thanks so much. And he shook my hand. Said, thank you. And
That's nice.
I bumped into the drummer a few times as well. He's like, you were at the front a few shows. I said, yeah. I said, good energy, like your stuff, and thanks for a great summer. And I left it at that.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
I I just appreciate that they give a damn about it. There were stadiums with damn all people there, and they give it all. Even Knock Loose that you touched on, they tried. I do think they were a failure on the tour. it's a strong word of failure, but it's just the crowd wasn't suited for them. They
Yeah,
tried,
well, same
and
thing happens with architects, and same thing has happened with a bunch of other like
yeah, but I feel like
screaming bands,
the lead singer, I felt like really lost interest towards the end. He's like, I'm never going to turn these people. Like he was like, the minute they started, I felt like he couldn't wait till it was over because he's like, I'm never going to win these guys over.
No, like I don't think a band like Not Loose, because they got this big opportunity fairly early in their career. Like, don't get me wrong, like they do their headline shows and they are insane, but because they're catered for the people that like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
When you put them on the, in the donut and in that setup and they're surrounded by people, it's just not what they do. So naturally it's really hard for it to work. But in saying that, he had a face paralysis, he pushed through. I feel for the poor little guy,
Oh,
like
did
he's
he?
young. Yeah, I think right after Athens,
Oh,
they did a show, I think in Sofia maybe,
yeah, they had a few.
and he went to the doctors, and I think he was doing acupuncture the entire tour to get his movement back.
Oh, shit, I didn't know.
And yeah, that's terrifying stuff. The tour's just starting. You have 2 months ahead of this, opening for the biggest band in the world. You can't pull out,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So I give it to them. They tried, didn't work. That's that, you know.
yeah.
That's it.
No, I think we covered that pretty well. Yeah, so I'd love to just go back to because you had the privilege of seeing us for the first time, me and Luke.
Losing your virginity in the snake pit.
Yeah, we popped our cherry.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, like I can briefly tell the story. So I got
Go on.
ridiculously lucky on my journey. The luck of the Irish, without naming any names, I was in a situation in Frankfurt and I just happened to bump into the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
Myself and Luke just kept it casual. We were mingling with crew and stuff. We didn't even realize who they were, to be honest. And they were like, "Oh, you guys are cool. And what's that on the flag? This flag that we carried around everywhere. Oh, you have a
Yeah.
podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, we're small though. We're just small from Ireland and da da da." Da. Oh, this guy's Irish and met this guy and that guy. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we do cameras and we do this for Metallica." And they're like, "Come on over here, have some beer. You guys are cool." There's a couple of crazy fans, but you guys seem cool. I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just hanging out."
Just
Okay, come
normal
on.
dudes.
So like, oh, this is the director for Gojira, and this is the tech, and this is the da 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 da. Da. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Jesus. I said to the crew, I don't know what just happened, but we're like hanging out with the crew. We didn't ask
Yeah.
for anything. We're just chilling out, we're buying some beers and having whatever. And yeah, one thing led to another, and one of the crew or directors were like, somebody needs to look after these two guys on the tour. They're good. They're good people, blah, blah, blah. Again, it was pure luck. So Frankfurt night two, that's when it all started and we got looked after. And we went in and I swear to God, the moment I got that snake pit in my hand the night before, I was like, Luke, what the fuck just happened, man? We're going to the snake pit. Like, it was like winning the
Yeah.
lottery. It really was
We
like
in the
winning.
lotto.
I'm
Yeah.
like, this is what I've dreamed of. I've talked to people on the podcast. I'm like, now we're going to be in it. So, like, when we walked in, I don't know, did we go straight to you? I can't even remember.
Yeah. You guys came in and I asked you, are you gonna stay here? Because you might as well. It was still pretty empty. And it's just a really good spot to lose your virginity, I would say. Like it's there's no better place, man. You're gonna get a little bit of everything. And
Yeah.
boy, did you guys get a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah.
You did, so it's
Yeah.
great.
It was amazing. I remember now it's coming back to me. We're sitting down on the floor. And your buddy from Turkey was there, right?
So Kai was there.
Yes,
Yeah.
Guy was there, and Cami and Maka, sorry,
Maga,
Maka
yeah.
was there, and yeah, when it all started, I was just like, I remember just like being like, what the hell is happening? And then when drums three came up, and Lars came over to you as he does and shakes your
Yeah.
hand, your buddy.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember just kept looking at Luke and like, I'm like, is this happening? Like, is this happening? And like,
I have a video of you. I
yeah,
will have to send you the video so you can feed it in
was
this part of the
was it
conversation.
Orion? Was it Orion? It was Orion, right? Or was it Cthulhu?
Yeah, so second night, Cthulhu.
Was it Cthulhu? I remember
Second
just,
night is Cthulhu.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember just going, I remember just looking and like when, I know this sounds sad or whatever, but like we're big fans. But when
Yeah,
like,
of course, means a lot.
when Hetfield's looking into your eyes and he's the foot up on the kick drum and he's just jamming, he's kind of looking to try and figure out what do you have in your hands or what is that? And of course, we had the flag and he's like, he's, and I'm like, he just looked at me like he acknowledged us.
I exist.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that sounds sad, but like it was cool.
It's not sad.
It
It's
was a
just
cool moment.
first time emotions that you've never felt in your life, you
Yeah,
know? Like you'll never forget the first time that he looked at you because he just doesn't just look at people, like he will stare into your soul.
yeah,
And I quote Melly on this because yeah, Melly a few years ago, really quick, she came to a Metallica show, a festival in America. It was crazy. Shit was hitting the fan left, right, and center. Crowd surfers, chaos. And then James is looking at Melly when he's playing. And yeah, like he looks at your soul. And then Melly asked me, like, what the hell is he looking at?
yeah.
And then you've experienced it now when he has his eyes on you. It's quite the moment.
It
It's
is.
quite the moment.
It is.
You
And
don't forget that.
you know when he says, and I think it's sincere when he says, "I feed off your energy and I see
Oh
people's
yeah.
faces change," and he says
Oh
that all
yeah.
the time. I really think he gets a kick out of seeing people losing their
Yeah.
shit. I
Oh
really
yeah,
think.
yeah. I have something that happened with James during the tour, Budapest weekend. So when we get there, briefly, I'll touch on it. But
Okay.
it doesn't happen all the time. But it's regarding that, and it was
Yeah.
pretty crazy, bro. It was pretty crazy.
But sticking on that one for a second, after Cthulhu, I think it was, and I remember my camera guy who I got to know, he texted me, he's like, "You are in for some set list tonight," you know? And I know it's not everyone's favorite, but they played Whiskey in the Jar in
Yeah.
Frankfurt and was right at our spot. And
Yeah.
obviously, Lars must have seen our flag here. And at the end of it, he comes over and he has the sticks or whatever, and he's like kind of looking, he's leaning down towards you, and obviously we're beside you, and I'm like, oh my god, he has sticks in his hand, and he fucking reaches out and like bang, I'm like, oh my god, like I got like
Whisk in the jar.
yeah, I'm like I got the stick, I'm like yeah, again, this brings you back to being a kid, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, fuck it, music is the closest thing to that time machine. If I can
Yeah.
transport back to being a kid for 20 seconds, good. Life's shitty
Yeah.
enough. You know, if you can take a break
Yeah.
and just forget about everything and just be obsessed about this one band and one gift that they give you, I will remember that moment for the rest of my days. I mean, as
A
sad
hundred
as,
percent, man.
you know, it
And I
was,
always say this, it's like the first drumstick you get, or the first guitar pick that you get, or just that first interaction, like with James, you were mentioning earlier. You don't forget that. Like that impregnates in you. Like you can forget, like if you get 10 more drumsticks down the road,
no, it
just
doesn't.
saying something,
No,
it will not hit you the same way.
no.
Like you will never you'll never forget the feeling,
Yeah.
and the way it made you feel. It's crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, like I did catch another stick in Dublin, and
That's right.
yeah, and
That's
I
right.
said, well, I'm going to give this one to Luke, and I lost Luke. Luke went to Thrums 4. I don't know what happened, and when he came out, I rang him. I'm like, dude, I have to meet you. Where are you? And I give him the stick, but like you said, it didn't have that attachment. Like if he asked me for this one, I'm like, no way, no way,
No, 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 no.
you're not
Or the
getting
other thing too, like I have rules around it, like if the stick is for you and he's handing it to you, that is yours.
it. Yeah,
That is yours. The other thing, this a lot of people will disagree with this one. If he's looking at you and he's still playing, he'll chuck it at you, and we'll go like this, and then a lot of bad shit can happen. It'll
Yeah.
go to the wrong hands or whatever.
Yeah.
That is yours because he
Yeah.
looked at you.
Yeah.
And when he looks at you, he looks at you, and
Yeah.
And then there's people that will take the opportunity to just grab it because it's a stick, and a stick is like whatever.
Yeah.
But then if he does this and he just like
Yeah, that's a free
tosses
throw.
it,
Yeah.
it's a free stick,
Yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah. No, I agree. Before I say the negative, one other positive I had on stuff from the band, and it was the best moment, to be honest. It was apart from this stick. Was it in Dublin? No, I don't know where it was. But Hetfield at the end of the night, it was Dublin. He took off his sweatband and he did his thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he flicked it. I don't know, maybe in my head he kind of looked at me to line me up. I don't know, but he just kind of gave it a little one and it was basically right to me, and I'm tall and I grabbed it.
You're tall, you got it.
Yeah, so I got it. And then, I remember Adam English, great kid, an Irish kid. I toured a
Yeah.
lot with him and his family. And he said to me, "Oh my God, Gavin." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool, right?" And he's like, can I touch it? I'm like, "Yeah." Like, whatever.
Have it.
And then he's like, "Oh, do you think I could put it on?" I'm like, "Of course you can." And I put it on him, and he's like, "Oh, so cool, so cool." And he's like, I'm like, "Whoa, that's yours. That's
Just
yours."
keep it. And he lost his mind.
And I swear to God, that was the best feeling. Giving that to what am I?
Yeah.
Gonna do? It's
He didn't hand it to
it's
you
not a
also. He
trophy,
threw it. So
no,
it's
but
the
I mean,
same
like,
thing.
even if he did, like, that moment of seeing the expression on Adam's face was
Yeah.
worth it hanging up here.
Yeah,
looking
it
at
pays more. Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
rewarding at the end of the day.
It
Just
was
making
such a
someone
nice
happy.
feeling to see Adam's expression. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, really, really cool. But yeah, no, Frankfurt will live with me for a long time on my Metallica journey in that pit. It was
Frankfurt was great. Frankfurt, like I remember it for a first double, thinking like, okay, like that was pretty good. Like well, Shep was there. Getting out was not terrible. I did enjoy the weekend. I wish I could remember more from night 2, but we were a little bit naughty and yeah, I can't remember much.
Oh yeah.
But night one, I do remember everything like very vividly.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Yeah.
I remember at the end of night 2, because it definitely was, because I was in the snake pit, and at the end of it, probably Enter Sandman they finished with, and Hetfield took out his in-ears and Chad was going to grab his guitar, and I lip read him and he was like, "That was fucking amazing."
Yeah. And you can tell when Head feels happy. Like
Yeah,
you
like
can tell by
it wasn't pretend.
a
It was like,
glimpse.
yeah, he was like, you could tell he's not that good of an actor. I don't think he was like,
No, he cannot hide.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was like,
he's pretty
he was really chuffed.
honest.
And in a whole, I think Hetfield was on top form on this tour.
He was very happy. I don't recall him having a shit show at all the entire tour. Because when James gets shitty, man, it's like the energy of the show drops significantly, or like, I think they were all pretty good consistently. I maybe Kirk, you can tell when Kirk is having a good or a bad show a lot. I think, he took a few falls this tour as well, but I
Poor
think
guy.
poor guy, man, he's so fucking hazy.
Oh,
He's
and then
not
when he
aware of his
launched the
surroundings.
Mummy, he launched Mummy guitar. I'm like, oh no, the poor guitar. But yeah, the poor guy, yeah. In fairness, the next night he came up, walked straight over to the monitor, and he's like kicking.
And like, was
Yeah.
was that Frankfurt or Dublin? That was Dublin.
That was Dublin.
That
yeah.
was Dublin.
It was
yeah.
Dublin, yeah. And he's like kicking
It
it.
was
And then-
slippery on night 1 because
Yeah.
it rained too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he put his foot on what he thought was a monitor, but it was just a bag. And he went, "Oof."
Fuck.
He went
He went
straight
right.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right in.
And he could have really got, like, you forget, like, these guys are in their 60s, you know?
I love that he reposted the video, like making
Yeah.
fun of himself because the video
Best
gone
way to do
viral.
it. It's the best
Yeah,
way to do it.
it's 100%. Like I remember watching it for the first time. And we're in a bar in Dublin. I'm like, oh shit, look at this, you guys. And everyone just losing it because it was such a good fall. And then you see the reaction on the crowd. It's probably where you were, just about where you were.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah, the
immediate
shock.
change
Like,
of concern in the
oh,
fans, like, oh my
yeah,
God, is he all right? I
yeah.
love that. I love that. That's so amazing.
The only thing I don't know if you noticed, I think I heard, from a pretty good source, that Rob was sick the last two shows, and
In London,
yeah, yeah, and he was kind of not. No, sorry, Dublin. Was it Dublin? I think it might have been Dublin.
I feel like Robert for me is the hardest to pick up his energy from. I
Yeah, he's a
will
little
say that
reserved,
we're,
right?
yes, with a few exceptions. Like in London Night One, he parked himself right in front of my two Chilean friends and played the entirety of Orion in front of them. And my friends were like, I feel like to this day, they cannot believe that that happened because it's such a special part. But what I was gonna say is that Rob doesn't go around a lot. Drums three doesn't go around there a lot. He will pop in and out when they are there,
Yeah,
and that's about it. We're lucky to get maybe one chorus, like
yeah,
backing vocals in that mic, but that's it. I don't see him much. And then when I roam around, I can't ever seem to see him, but I do see that he moves too quickly. He doesn't park himself like the others do.
yeah.
So that's
Do like
probably why I don't see him
10
enough.
seconds here, and he'd move in 10 seconds.
He
Yeah,
moves fairly quickly, yeah. So
yeah.
I think that's why I don't get a lot of him.
He goes down into the crowd as well a lot. I feel like he goes down under the bridge and stuff, and
He does that.
he does a lot of that. But anyway, look, we're all human. We're all human. So yeah, Frankfurt was really good. Against in Germany, I did a lot of the chapter events. I did the photo at the Justice statue where I first met you in
We
person, I
just
think.
missed it too. Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Saturday before I went to the Snake Pit on the Sunday. It was so hot that day as well.
Oh, it was boiling.
I loved. I met John Cruz then for the first time as well. And we can talk about John in a minute. But I love Frankfurt. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's an industrial city. It's not that great of a German city." I loved it.
Oh, the city itself, you liked it? No, yeah, I don't rate it. I
Yeah,
don't rate it.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I think what I really liked was the scooters.
Oh, I love the scooters.
Yeah.
Like every city with the scooters, that's how I was moving around. Well, you guys, a lot of people. So
Oh
it's
my God.
great. It's so convenient because sometimes you wait forever for
An
one
Uber.
train or one tram, and then you just shoot in the scooter, be there in no time.
I took the
It's
scooter from
great.
the city to the stadium.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I think I did the same on my way back,
Oh, no
both
way.
nights.
Yeah.
Only on the way back because traffic was in a state, you know.
Yeah.
But it was great, brilliant, and they were like really good quality ones too,
They were
very
really
heavy.
good, yeah. And the
They
road was
take it.
safe because
Yeah,
I tried it in Budapest and I lasted 2 minutes. I'm
got
like,
shitty with it.
no,
Yeah, too much traffic.
too much traffic, too
Was
not
busy
safe
city.
enough. I'm like, nope,
Yeah,
I don't want to die here. But
no, not
no, but
worth it.
I thought Frankfurt was good. I enjoyed that meetup with the Caro and Christian and all them. They were such good people. Such a big chapter as well. I really enjoyed that chit
Yep.
chat. And then we ended up going for food with you, right? Was that Frankfurt? Yeah.
Yes, we finally lined up and had a few beers, had lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was great because beer in Germany is so cheap and it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. It
So
was
I
good.
really enjoyed that. But it was a good way to, get away from the heat a little bit. I remember feeling a bit drained from the heat, and I was like, I just want to be indoors
Yeah.
with a cold beer.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
That was really good.
You
And
know?
I took a few of my Irish, the English family, with
That's where I
Adam.
met them all.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love them all. Like, quick shout out to them because they are the most like lovely people that you come around. They are so genuine and so real. Well, just like you and Luke, bro. Like you guys are all the same kind of people, you know. And it was really lovely to meet them because up until this tour, I don't think I actually could say that I have any Irish friends. But now I have you five, so that's great.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're great people, and they looked after me when I had a bit of a wobble in London. We can talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next show for me then was Budapest. Was that the next one on the tour, or was Bologna in
Yeah.
between?
No, there were singles in between, so that would have been the next double.
Right.
Berlin,
Oh yeah, Berlin.
Bologna, Zurich,
Yeah.
Berlin, Bologna, and
Okay.
then Budapest.
And then Budapest.
those three singles were kind of started to feel a bit tired. When I did a double and then I do three singles, I'm like, oh, I just wish it was just doubles from here on, because all the traveling in between to different countries back and forth, especially that they did Germany, made me go to Switzerland and Italy only. Oh no. No, just Switzerland, then back to Germany.
Yeah, you
That back
kept
and
going
forth, that
back.
killed me.
Yeah.
That killed me because, I wish, I know logistically and distances and, all this blah, blah, blah that goes behind the scenes when they set their dates. But then also Italy, doing Italy Metallica shows, they tend to be like a pain in the bum, logistically, but it was fairly organized. But just being in Italy, I love Italy. That's the country where I met Metallica. I had my first meet and greet. I love Italy. I love their people, their food. It tends to be a bit South Americanish,
Okay.
like
Okay.
they're rougher. Um, but no, Bologna was fairly easy actually, because I've never seen Metallica in Bologna. They play there in Worldwide. Couldn't do those shows. They were in winter too, and I have this rule of thumb to not do shows in winter because I have a shit ton. I don't do snowy winter. I don't do them.
Okay.
So I dodged them, but no, it was great, and the energy was amazing. The venue was cool,
I heard the venue was
but
cool.
it was cool, and when we did Bologna, I was like, okay, like bring on the doubles. Like I'm ready for more doubles.
Okay.
They changed the set list more as well, and a lot of people skip Bologna as well because it was probably a logistical nightmare, even for the Germans that were right there. I talked to a few of them. They were like, "Yeah, we just skip it because it's just expensive,
Mm.
nowhere to stay. The city was collapsed," which is true. And yeah, but
Mm.
Budapest, it was an amazing weekend for me as far as everything. Not just the shows, the food,
Yeah.
the people I was with. London too, okay. London too. Like they're both very high up for me, but for like different reasons. But Budapest for me was like up there of a weekend. Like if a weekend can tick every box, that weekend sort of did that for me. And in a very different way, because well, you now experience what the office is,
Yes.
and you've come to expect, you have three songs, very quick, in and out, but intensity.
Yes.
You know, you don't need to have them five, six songs in your face because those three songs, and you get the instrumental on the doubles, it's pretty fucking intense. So I think the joy that I had in Budapest, night one, I had my friend Marco, the one that's a big Gojira fan.
Yeah.
It was his birthday,
Oh
he wanted
yes, I
his first
remember.
drumstick, and he got it like no problem. And like it was so easy, and he was so happy because the interaction that Lars gave him, was very special. And just witnessing your friend get his first drumstick in his birthday, he's an old dude, bro. He's like 41, and he's so overjoyed. That makes my heart so full, bro. And then next to him was his sister, and they were together for a show, first time in a year. And she's been having a bit of a hard time recently as well. And so the band's playing Orion, and I think she's got a sign for Kirk as well. And you can see it on the Metallica tour video in YouTube. If you play Orion, you will see when this happens.
Okay.
And Kirk comes and gives her like a pick, like in her hand. And I was like, you don't ever see Kirk mid
No.
song do that.
No.
Like, or it's very rare. Don't say never, but it's rare. And she was so happy, bro. Like seeing them both just like so happy, and almost in tears of joy,
Yeah.
and just being the outsider there, witnessing everything. I think that is the magic of the office. Like a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, I don't mean fucking signs every show. I don't mean that. You don't have to have a sign for every show. It's not necessary, guys. Really, it isn't. How about put it down and look at what you have in front of you?
Yeah.
It's amazing enough. Plus, if you always want something, you'll just become disappointed because you cannot have something every show. Great if you do, good for you, but it's not what they're there for. They're there to play for you, and that should be bottom line the expectation.
Yeah.
Everything else, bonus.
Yeah.
you know.
I
But
agree.
I feel like in Budapest, yeah, like it was just joy. And then what I wanted to touch on briefly, I won't extend so much.
No, you're good.
Budapest 2. Budapest 2. I think we had Wherever I'm in Rome before the office. So that's normally the closer of drums too. We had it, when I say we had it, I had James singing the entire damn
Right.
song,
Yeah.
parked up my microphone,
Yeah.
not my microphone, but,
Yeah.
drums 3
Yeah. Yeah.
microphone. And that song, I've told you
Yeah.
previously in the podcast, that song is my song.
Yeah.
I will sing, scream at the top of my lungs, jump and down every lyric because it means the world to me. And when you already have that's your bass, and then you have James there singing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No greater feeling for me. Like I swear to God, he could sing every song in the Metallica discog, but that song in front of me, it's like, I don't know, man. It does things to me, but in a powerful way. And
I
he
know.
parked there and he did the entire song there. And then he bent down in front of us, jumped in front of us. He was looking at us. Okay, the entire time, like he was feeding off us, and we were jumping nonstop, bro. Like it's a competition.
Yeah.
But it felt like you cannot be still. You have to be jumping because the energy was super high in that little spot. We were cooking.
Yeah.
And then the song finishes. And I have to go back to the live Metallica or a YouTube video or something because I can't be tripping so hard. But I do think that he says something along the lines of thank you to the Metallica traveling fans or something like that. And I swear to God, like I felt like I didn't literally do it, but I felt like I fell through my knees
Yeah.
to my toes
Yeah.
and bursted like crying, but like brother, like my mother died or something, like crying in a state. And then I try to quickly recover because I'm in such a rush of adrenaline. And then the drums rise. It's like I need a break. I don't think I can do this. And it was just like that sort of day. That
Yeah.
sort of day. And for me that's like probably a top one moment of the tour. Just
Wow.
those 15 minutes, you can talk about all the lovely things that happened to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
are
Yeah. That was your moment.
countless.
That was your moment.
But that was a group moment, like a zone moment, and it was just so powerful, man.
Yeah.
And you don't get that with James every day of your life. So when you
No.
get it, celebrate it, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
I had something little bit similar, not as much as that. I think it might have been Budapest night one. I was up at the at the dip, like at the very front where the microphone is, and I think it was Sleeps. It must have been night one, and he had the truckster. I remember you had the truckster, and like you know how close it is. It's like right here.
Is this Budapest?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Budapest.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah, it was Budapest because I was right at the very front both nights. I was on the microphone between drums 1 and 2. And then I moved. But James finished the song. I think I'm in the video as well. I'm pretty sure me and Luke are in the video. And but when he finished
I've seen this video.
yeah.
What song is it? Is it not Memory Remains?
I think it was Memory, but before that
Because the Truckster is Memory.
yeah, but
I don't know.
Was it no, I forget what maybe it was Memory. I don't know why.
Maybe because of the Truckster. Anyway.
I'm not good with tech anyway, but we finished the song and he's obviously looking at us and we're rocking out. Like you said, you're in that moment.
Yeah.
But he put the guitar down and he looked at me and he went like,
Touch it, grab it.
"Oh, do you want it?" I'm like,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Are you like? Is it this? No, he's fucking with
He
me."
teased
And I'm
you.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, brilliant. You got me. Like what am I going to do?
100%.
Like, but I'm like,
Yeah.
But he started laughing and I started laughing. We kind of had a little moment. I'm like, fucking cool. Not.
But that is amazing.
Yeah.
Because he's not always that cheeky. So when he is, he's in a major good move. Because, he's not always like this.
I felt
not
like
at
he
all.
was cheeky a lot on the tour. Do you remember like when he backed up on Lars and he's rubbing his
He
ass?
was. That was Dublin. That's
That
the
was
picture
Dublin.
I took.
Yeah. Like and then he started teasing Lars with, take your break. Go on, Lars, take your break. Was that
Go
Budapest?
change your wig or something.
Yeah.
He does say that a fair bit, to be fair.
Yeah. But No, he was in good mood. Budapest, yeah. First time in Budapest for me as well. Really loved the city. I thought it was so pretty, so cool. I went on a boat trip. We went up and down the Danube and, seeing the Parliament building. And then we went up to, oh, what was the name of the thing way up the top? It wasn't a castle. It was like, oh, I forget what it was called. I actually went with Theodore from Greece and we had a
Yeah,
beer just before I left to come home. But I thought Budapest was a really cool city. Really
it's
cool.
a beautiful spot.
It was
Yeah, for
expensive
sure.
enough though. I won't lie. I didn't think it would be as expensive as it was. It was kind of like Dublin.
Maybe maybe I don't know, because they have their own currency.
Yeah.
So like that's where you kind of lose me a little bit. But I did find it a bit more expensive than 2 years ago.
Oh
I will
yeah.
say that. And with Europe in general, like
Yeah.
the UK was mad this time.
Oh, Dublin's
Crazy
mad too.
expensive.
Dublin's
Yeah,
insane.
Dublin was pricey as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, London
Yeah.
is. I remember some people saying, "Oh, thank God, Dublin's over." I'm like, wait till you go to
Wait
London.
for the UK.
Oh, London is
Far worse.
ridiculous.
It's far
But no,
worse.
Budapest was super cool. Again, obviously we were in the video as well, which was pretty cool for a split second. Really cool. I said to myself I would definitely come back to Budapest with my wife and like spend a
Oh
couple.
yeah.
It was really cool. We
It
went
has a lot to
to
offer.
went to that rock bar. Hung out with some of the chapter members as well. I think Phil Anselmo came to the bar one of the days. Which
Wow.
was weird. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, met some interesting people as well. Hung out. I forget what we did in Budapest. I don't think we did a whole lot of boozing, but yeah, it was cool. I did a lot of drinking in Frankfurt. I'm not gonna lie. I did a lot of boozing.
Yeah, me too. Me
But
too.
Budapest, I think I reigned. No, I arrived in Budapest on the Tuesday. I was there super early, and I was
You
kind of
did, yeah.
yeah, I was kind of finding my feet. So I kind of did some. I was intending to do some touristy stuff, and then I went to the rock bar and I met a guy from Ireland and a guy and his girlfriend from Liverpool or somewhere, and then I ended up just getting drunk with them. But it was
The
fun.
social Irish.
Yeah, of course. You're in a rock bar, like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And but that was Luke missed his flight. He missed night one.
That's right. He rocked up night two.
Yeah,
That's
he was
right.
flying out of Dubai, and because that was the Thursday and Saturday, right? It was, and
Yes.
that kind of got a lot of people because you thought it was it kind of messed with your head a little.
I kept getting messed up. Yeah, especially near the end. I couldn't even keep up what the other
Yeah.
week was anymore because they changed it a bit near the end.
I think the
The days.
stadium I'd like to talk about too. I thought that stadium was cool. Like I know it's a soccer stadium.
Budapest?
Yeah, I thought it was. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
it
just
was nice.
I'm a soccer fan too, and like the Champions League final was there like 2 weeks before it, and it was an impressive stadium. I thought it was really cool. The fact that
Yeah.
it's right in the city too, you can walk back. Well, I could anyway. I could
I
walk.
have a question. I
Yeah,
have a question because this is your first year doing it.
yeah,
So what did you think of your I Disappear experience?
amazing. I mean,
Okay. 10 out of 10.
I know people have gripes with it, and I know it was better at the start. There was less people in that, but what I got from it, it might sound funny, but I really enjoyed going early and waiting in line and mingling.
That's how you meet people. That's how you socialize, you
And
know.
I met so many
Yeah.
people, and to this day, like I can't even tell you their names, and they'd come up to me. I'm like, "Oh, Gavin." I'm like,
Of
"Hey,"
course,
like,
it happens.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yes." And I got so many gifts from people. Martin from Berlin, he just gave me a T-shirt. He does some printing as well, and stuff like that. And I really like the camaraderie of that. I did. I did. I know I can't comment on it because I never did it in the past, but I heard it was a little bit better in the past. But I thought for what I paid for it and the fact that I only did, I think, eight show. I don't even know what I did. I didn't do them all. What was it, 15 or 1600 euro? I would recommend it. If you're in a position to do it, do it. You know?
I feel like these days you only pay for flexibility, which is my number one thing, because I don't have the life of too many lucky people where I can commit to it a year in advance. No fucking way. My life doesn't roll like that, like I don't work remotely. This is not me. But it's that, last minute I can maybe do. And, the rules, obviously you said a little bit, the rules have become tighter, For me, it's a bit extreme to RSVP a month prior. I find that a bit harsh. Like, there's a whole month where I could change my mind, especially if you have the normal Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and things can change so much. Because let's face it, like, not everybody works remotely. Not everybody knows what they're going to do next week, even, like people like you're a dad, you have a family and things do change.
Yeah.
Of course, you can email and work your way through like that. But I just believe that it's become unnecessarily more strict for no goddamn reason other than selling more tickets, man. And that really shits me. Because this is all it is, It's like,
Of
you let
course,
me know a
the
month
numbers
ahead
and then
so I can sell your ticket if you're not coming. And
Yeah.
I can make money. Brother, at the end of the day, I still pay you $1,800 or whatever it was. That ticket's mine if I want it to be.
Yeah.
I pay my money,
That's a fair point.
And that's how I see it, whether I attend or not, whether I miss my flight and didn't make it, and they get that cancellation email as well. Like Maka got a cancellation email, as in like, you didn't show up. What are you doing? Sort of
Yeah.
thing. For Berlin, I believe, which was the last one of her first leg. And she told me, Camilla, like, I got this email, and I'm like, you email those bitches right back, and you tell them very well that you were there, and they can stuff that email up their bums, because they have local people doing the whole check-in. If they don't click check-in, oh, you didn't show up. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Things like this, like it was never like this, bro. It was
Yeah.
never like this. And the whole, not gonna touch about all the bad aspects of it, but obviously, like you said, to keep it nice and friendly and PG, it was way better. 100%. It was way better. Like now, the way they treat people, the way they line them up, it's like we are the scumbags of society, and there's frantic, It's shit, man. Like they don't treat us like people. Like they treat us like whatever, man.
I think just kind of got a flashback when you said that. Like they messed up a lot. I don't think it's a lot to do with Metallica, but I think
No, it's the people that work for them, bro.
Frankfurt
It's not the
was-
band. Leave the band
Yeah, yeah,
alone.
yeah.
That
Frankfurt-
crew that runs it needs to fucking retire.
No,
Get a
but-
fresh crew in.
Do you remember getting into Frankfurt and like they were like the gates wouldn't open, and then they were like, no, this is frantic and this is that. They hadn't a clue. They weren't schooled on.
I remember now.
They weren't schooled on. Okay, frantic goes first, then this, then this, and they were-
Frantic was a mess. In
oh my god!
Frankfurt.
They basically tried to tell
It
me
was-
I'm a GA. I'm like, I'm not a GA. I get in early. I have early entry stamp. Blah blah.
Yeah.
And then the gate
yeah.
didn't open. But again,
I remember now what it was. There was a hand scanner, and then you had the
gates.
tourniquets.
Yeah.
The gates. And then if that guy, that one-man show that has to scan every black ticket, if he was, MIA, good luck to you getting through.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And there was only one line for I disappear, maybe 5 other lines for frantic or something like that.
and then it got
So
crisscrossed.
yeah, of course
Everyone
that
was
happens.
skipping and everyone was jumping lines. And then I got in, but I had Snake Pit, I think. But like I didn't get my early entry. I didn't get into like, I don't know, 4 or whatever.
That brings in another point, and that's that if you upgrade to the Snake Pit and you have frantic, you go in after.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, no,
I
it's
pay you for a frantic, and I pay you today another, whatever it was
You want it, yeah.
for a Snake Pit, and you're just gonna hold me back with GA? Get the fuck out, bro.
Yeah.
I kept telling people because I'm not gonna plan or pretend that I'm the smartest person in the room, but like sometimes you can outsmart situations like that, like hide your goddamn wristband,
Put it on
put
when
it
it-
inside the venue, things like that, and a lot of people got fucked over this way.
Yeah,
that really
like common
pisses me off.
sense. Like you said, if you paid what, €500 for a Frantic, and then you upgrade.
Upgrade.
Why should you get
It's a fair,
points? You
fair
should
amount of
get,
money.
you should get fucking, you should be red carpet, go in. You just give
Yeah.
us €700
Please, by
for
all
the
means,
show.
go in.
You
Yep,
know,
I
and then
know.
not wait, you got no, that cancels that one out. But
No,
yeah,
it's
there was a couple
retarded,
of
man.
mistakes, and I did talk to few people that I got to know, and they were like raging. They were like these they were like a subbed in contract that were dealing with that job, and they messed up. They messed up in, was it Budapest as well? I think Budapest was the same kind of problem where if you
That was
have,
a rough entrance.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
rough.
And then we were waiting ages, right?
Was
I,
one person doing like three people's job. You
yeah.
have box office, you have guests, friends and family,
Mm,
snake pit, ID, and it's just one window, bro.
yeah. But
Organize your shit, bro.
overall, though, kind of painting a bad picture. I would say for if the opportunity comes up again for America or whatever happens, hopefully there'll be another. I'd imagine an American run of shows after Sphere. I'd be guessing. If you're in an opportunity to get one and you can financially do it, do it. I think for
Of
some,
course, like overall, it's
yeah.
easy access to ticket because
But
tickets do sell out.
I
So
would really push on the, you know, I'm trying to say if it was somebody like me who, is a Metallica fan, but would love the experience of getting into the chapters and getting into the crew and meeting, bonding with a large amount of people, going to different shows. Money can't buy that. It's like, you meet, you, cheesy as it sounds, your friends for life. Like, you can bond over the one thing.
yeah,
People from Australia or
yeah.
Berlin or Chile or wherever. I mean, that's the benefit for me. That's what the money was worth, to be honest.
I always say that friends are far more than family because, yeah, money can get you things, but friends are just way more.
Yeah,
Like they're there
you
for
can't buy friends.
you. You can't buy friends. So like, and 100%, like the ticket is good. Don't get me wrong. Logistically, this year it felt like a shit show. It
Yeah.
just had to be noted. That's all.
Yeah, in
Moving on.
Glasgow, I messed up. I was supposed to go to Glasgow, and I was like, I was sitting at home here, and I'm like, oh shit, I never cancelled the ticket.
RSVP. Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't. Okay.
So I was like 8:30. I'm like, oh my god, let me send the email. I'm like, sorry, I know it's late. Da 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 da. Da. Some things came up. I can't travel. And I'm pretty sure I sent it before 9. And then they were like, I understand, but because of the late email, we're going to flag you as a no-show. I'm like, okay. They're like, you can only have one more no-show, and then we cancel your ticket. I'm like, whoa. I think it was 2. I think you're allowed no-shows, I think.
Again, with that shit, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
Like I'm very like, no, bro. I paid you.
yeah.
That ticket's mine if I want it.
Yeah,
And if I
I don't agree
didn't,
with that. It's kind of like, what,
it's
for
it,
one
it's
ticket? Like,
stingy. It's just stingy, bro. Like I understand that you're late. Like she replies in the email or
oh yeah,
he replied
I
on the
did
email.
mess up, in fairness. But like you
Yeah,
said,
but like
I did buy
they
the
make you
ticket
feel like you
already. I can
fucked
fucking
up.
do what I want with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You
But
can do whatever you want with it, man. These rules are dumb. Like I
yeah.
don't agree with it. But that's just me.
Yeah. Okay, then the next show the next show for me then was Dublin, I think. Um was there a show in between?
Dublin
No.
weekend.
It was Dublin then, right?
From Budapest, we jumped to Dublin, and
Yeah.
that was very much appreciated. Like
Yeah.
that break. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a few days off and then Dublin. Yeah, I was so excited for Dublin. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I felt a little bit of pressure, which is kind of silly when you think about it. It's like I'm not performing,
I do understand that, though.
but
I do
I
understand
wanted
that.
everybody to have a good time, and we had some things lined up, and you know, um, at one point we were going to be an official event of the takeover thing, but some things just happened and whatever didn't end up being. But yeah, we as a chapter we did put a lot of work into it. We got some money together as a chapter, and big shout out to Shep, our buddy, who absolutely killed it. You popped in for a little while for the
Yeah, I
trivia.
popped into supervisor job. She
Yeah,
was doing
she
great.
killed it. Like she said to
Yeah.
me, she's like, I got this. I'm like, she's like, go do whatever you want. I'm like, I know you do. I'm gone. I'm just gonna walk around and just, whatever.
Yeah. It's right down her alley,
She
that all
killed
that
it. She
stuff.
killed it.
So yeah.
But no, I just want to say a big thank you to all the members of our chapter, the Call of Keltulu, who donated. And to be honest, I think we had some pretty fucking good prizes. Like we had
Oh yeah.
we had a t-shirt,
That's great.
we
That
had the
alone is
vinyl
great.
splatter, we had professional photos, we had tickets to tribute bands, we had a lot of good stuff, if I do say so
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. I agree.
The hard rock, I didn't know what it was going to be like. A functioning restaurant was probably not ideal, but I mean, we had to work with it. People were chit chatting and whatever. But from what I heard, people really enjoyed it. They thought it went really well, and then we had a live podcast with John Cruz, who played with Cliff back in the day with True Temper. He was a drummer with Cliff, and he came up and told a very powerful story. I'm not sure if you were there for that.
No, I got there after, I
Yeah,
believe.
his
Yeah.
son sadly passed away with cancer, and he was a huge Gojira fan. And his last wish was to go to a show with his friends and family, and he didn't make it. And John told a story about going to the show with his friends, and basically, long story short, Gojira heard about the story, and they came out and they honored him and mentioned him during the show. It was a really touching story. And then
That's
just
so good.
listening about what Cliff was like, as a 17, 18-year-old, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And then we did our photo in Dublin, and I felt a lot of pressure went off him. Like, okay, I think people's having fun. So that was
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the other good thing that helped to make it easier as well is that you guys were parked at Hard Rock for the entire day almost.
yeah,
Rather than we'll do this here at 2 and then at 4 we're gonna be there. Please
yeah,
go there, because that's, oh man, that's a pain in the ass. You just wanna park yourself, have a beer, let yourself go, And
yeah.
by having all the activities in one place only, I thought that was very handy. When I came up, it was, I think, just at the beginning of trivia.
Mm.
It was packed.
Yeah.
Like it was packed, and then I remember just being by the staircase, just sussing out what was happening. I was like, this is so packed. And then, well, you met Maddie now, and she knows, she's like, okay, it's a bit crowded, can we go now? I was like, yeah, we can go.
Yeah, yeah,
But we were there for a little bit, but it was great, it was going great. So
yeah. I
I'm
said
sure
thank
everybody
you
had a blast.
for letting us steal you on the night before. And to be honest, that was another highlight. After night one,
We went to
me,
have beers.
you, and the English family sat down in a pub in Dublin, and we got a little spot, and we just talked. And to be honest,
Yeah, it
we
was
don't have to get
nice.
into what we talked about, but like that was a standout moment for me. To be honest, just
Oh, that's really cute, bro.
yeah, it
That's
was like
sweet.
we all just kind of opened up and talked and fucking whatever, and we got you in a taxi and got you back safe, and that
Thank
was a
you.
moment I do remember that, and I that one will stick with me, to be honest. And Dave has said it too. He's like, "Do you remember the night that we just talked after the show with Camilla?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "It was fucking brilliant." He's
Yeah,
like,
that was actually.
he was like, "She's
That
such
was
an
brilliant.
interesting girl, and I love her story."
Oh,
And Liv had said it too, and we don't have to get into what we talked about, but that moment was cool, and I just want to say thank you, because
I just no, thank you guys. Like I said earlier, you were such a very embracing group of people, and like there's a sense of like safety with you guys, because brother, like I exited that stadium and I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna get home? Because I was in China. I was not staying in Dublin County. I was in
I
China.
know, right?
And I was like, how am I gonna get home? It was crazy. And then I think Shep was just staying there. So my plan was just to hang out at Shep's. But then I found Shep, and Shep had you guys, and you had better plans to go and have a beer. I'm like, yeah, that works for me. We'll kill some time. If I have to nip it in the bud and get the Uber, I will. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
but it ended up being such a wholesome moment of just engaging after such a powerful show too, very meaningful to you guys that you were
Yeah.
playing local. That feeling of playing local, you don't get that privilege every year, certainly. And I know what it's like. So I was like, you probably are the lot to hang out with right now. So I'm glad we did that. And I am very much thankful for your company that evening as well.
Yeah.
And getting home safely. It was great. It's
Yeah, no,
brilliant.
it was a great moment. And then yeah, so I stayed in the city, and I remember going back in, and we were buzzing. But night two, then we go in. I forget where I
Night
stood.
two.
I can't even remember. I think I mingled. I think I just followed the band. I can't even remember.
Night two was whiskey.
That was
You
whiskey.
guessed it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was whiskey. And yeah, I was kind of like, oh, they're playing it too much now, but whatever.
I was hoping, not gonna lie, that they would drop it after Dublin.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was so
hoping
surprised. I was so surprised. The
that
only
it
thing that
didn't.
comes to mind in case I forget is when they did play it in London. And I know I'm probably annoying a load of people with my fucking flag, but anyway, I took it with me. I'm like, that's my identity now. I'm going to bring this flag everywhere.
Yeah.
And I had it up for whiskey. And Hetfield, I don't know if you remember this. He was like, he said on the mic, "Where are you?" And I'm like,
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, no,
That's
he's not.
so
No, he's not.
good.
And I like put the flag up, and he's like, I'm like, oh my fucking God.
I'm gonna have to find this video, bro.
Yeah, I asked on the forums. I asked on the forums, please tell me somebody seen this. Like he
This is
can
before whiskey, right?
at
Because
the
whiskey's in
end.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, at the
At
end.
the
At the
end,
end.
he's like, where he's kind of like this, and then I put the flag up, and he's like, point straight to me. He's like, oh shit.
That's great.
Yeah, it's like,
Your identity now.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, Shep has the overalls, and you have your red t-shirt. I'm like, I gotta just put the flag on my neck. That's me now. That's me. I'm the flag man. But
That's funny,
yeah.
man.
But no, Dublin. I had. Should I mention this? I'm going to mention it. I had one. Let's call him an idiot in Dublin.
Yeah.
I
Go
think I
on.
told you this, right?
I don't know. There's too many idiots at every show to remember,
So
unfortunately.
I told a story about the stick, right, and the wristband, and this was Dublin
Yeah.
like 1 and 2, and I give it to the kid.
Yeah.
So I was at the bridge, and I had a plan, probably stupid, but I said I didn't realize again the flag. I'm like, I'm going to try and throw the flag up, but they don't mess with flags anymore. Whatever. I didn't know. So at the bridge, the balls came down for Salman or Sikh or whatever it was, and there was a couple of people fighting over the balls and blah blah blah. And I noticed this guy that I seen him on the Friday night. Kind of was being a bit of a dick and got a beach ball and was lying on it. I wanted to take it home, whatever.
Oh, okay.
The same guy was doing it Sunday, right? And the security was giving out to him, and they're like, "Put it up, throw it up or whatever." And it kind of was still bouncing around, and I kind of got underneath it and gave it a whack and sent it up.
Pissed him off.
I'm like, that's what they're for, whatever. And
Yeah.
he got angry. Let's just say it. Now
He snapped at you.
this man was 60 odd.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck off, man.
Right?
Grow up.
With a little kid with him, and he's like, that was for my wife. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I seen you get one Friday. And then he's like, I seen you got a stick and I'm like, dude, I give them away. Like, what are you gonna do with this, But he got aggressive, like really aggressive, and he ended
Fuck
up
off.
he got thrown out. He literally got thrown out, right?
Oh, really? He got that bad?
Oh, he got bad. Like he got in my face and started like, I'm like,
No way.
oh yeah, yeah.
No
So I'm
shit.
like, God, this is a bad way to end this. He wasn't Irish.
100%.
He was a French guy, I think. But me and Lance, hi Lance, if you're listening, Lance gifted me this the cigar box. The
Oh, nice.
yeah. So he's like, oh, come back to my place. I want to give you this. I'm like, oh, so nice. So I'm walking back, and I hear this. Now I have you. I'm like,
No way.
I'm like, no.
No way.
And I turn around, there he is. He's like, I've been waiting for you. I'm like, are you seriously pissed off over a beach ball? And
Far out,
he
bro.
had this kid with him, and he followed me. He followed me up the street, and I'm like, I'm with Lance, and Lance is like, what the hell is going on? And I told him. He was like, Jesus, this guy's obviously got some issues or something. He's like, just be careful. I'm like, let's just keep walking, you know. And he kept following me. He kept following me. He's like, he basically said, oh, if we were in my country, I'd kill you. I'm like, dude. I'm like, it's a beach ball. And I'm like,
Man, he couldn't let it go.
dude, I kind of put a dampener on the night for me. I'm not going to lie.
No, of course, anything like that would affect you
And he
100%.
had a friends and family badge on him.
No way. What a wanky, man.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it just kind of put a dampener on it. But anyway, I just wanted to mention
Shit
it.
happens.
I'm like,
Shit happens.
enjoy your night. Like you said, everything else is a bonus. You know, have fun.
It's like
If you get sick,
100%, bro. Like, it's like the beef that I have with the signs. It's
yeah.
like you can do a sign once, there's people that only do the one show and want it to be perfect, and I am totally fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure on the timeline of these events. You may be able to give me a hand. I believe in Dublin, in Drum Street, there were a million signs. I don't know if night one or two, and Lars ran out of drumsticks because he gave out so many towards the pit.
Okay.
This could have been maybe night two. Could have
Okay.
been maybe night two. And then here comes Jimmy with another stash of drumsticks. So Lars could give, because there were like, I don't know, 6, 7 signs in the area, like a dumb amount of signs.
Yeah.
And then, okay. So Lars was like, I gave out all my drumsticks. So funny. Woo! Done. Then next gig, real quick. Glasgow, I think it was. And yeah, same thing. I think Jimmy came with like a bunch of them before Lars ran out, because it's now a running thing, you know. Like, this is the part of the show when we gave out 15 drumsticks to the people of, the office, whatever.
Yeah.
And Lars kind of looked at him and was like, okay, kind of went along with it. But not really impressed, if I read him right.
Yeah.
And then the next show, he was like, Jimmy did the same thing. And then Lars is like, stop it. Like,
Yeah.
no more. Like, let's not
Make this the
encourage
thing.
this.
Yeah.
Because imagine if he wants to turn around, interact like he did with you in Frankfurt, just because you mentioned that it's an example. It's a genuine interaction.
Yeah.
There's no sign in between.
No, I didn't ask
It's
for anything.
one-on-one, and that's great, and he'll give it to you, no problem. But if every time he turns around, 10 signs go up, that eventually stops him from turning around.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a thing that he gets annoyed with. And that's
Yeah.
not cool,
Not a
I don't
genuine
think that is
moment
cool.
anymore. Then it's manufactured moments. It's
I'm fine with signs if it's your first show. Like I said, you pay for the Moth into Flame, you spend your life savings on it, and you want it to be the best night ever, and that happens to be the show where he just doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Unlucky. If you were at the show when he gave out like 20, very lucky. You cannot control that. Because we see every show and you see the pattern and you see the change of behavior, you're able to tell or pick up what's happening,
I
but yeah,
noticed that.
it's like,
From what did I do? I think I did like 6 or 7 snake pits. I think 6. I forget. Your end definitely, like, that's where you go. If people aren't familiar, Camilla, you stay at the office, drums 3. That's your spot. That's where you go. I did notice going in early to the snake pit. It used to be at the start of the tour, everyone wanted at the dip, at that bit with the microphone.
oh yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, there's like 5 or 6 people here, but like, I'm looking over at you. I'm like, Jesus, there's a lot of people over with Camilla. I'm like,
Yep.
I don't know if it was people
Sometimes just casual too, you can't control that.
I don't know. I think people might have just noticed your face and maybe listened to a few podcasts. I don't know what it was, but people, I think, started to figure out. And like you said, that's when maybe word of mouth or maybe in the forums, I'm not that active on the forums, that they were like, okay, if you go where the Camilla is, that's where he takes a moment. And, you know, and it fucking ruins the authenticity of the moments, and I don't like that. But again, I do agree with, if you bought a ticket and you're at one show, you're entitled to do what the hell you want. But if you're on
You're entitled
I
anytime to do
disappear,
anything, but
but if you're on
yeah.
I disappear and you're like, and you know what really
One side per show. Yeah, it's
fucking
annoying.
pisses
It's
me off
annoying.
though is
It pisses you
you
off.
only wanted to fucking sell it.
Oh no, fuck that.
That
Fuck
sickens.
that.
That sickens my ass. No, that does
No,
really
no, no,
sicken
no.
my ass. I
No,
would
no, no.
like
Don't even
what?
talk about
What is
selling,
this
but
worth?
yeah,
It's
no.
worth nothing. It's a piece of plastic. But people, I'd probably get, I don't know, €100. I don't know what you get for it. But like, I would never ever even cross my mind of selling it. Like, it's mine. That was my moment. Like that's my moment. That's Frankfurt.
You can put a price on the happiness that brought you. End of the story.
No, but I hate that there is people out there that want pics and they want this and they want that to sell. That's
Oh yeah, no, that's dumb, bro. But
like the
like
beach balls. That, like, what are you going to do with a beach ball? They're huge.
they're giant too. They're giant. Like they're actually giant. You have to have a giant back garden to like have it in, or like what are you
So
gonna do
stupid.
with that? It's
So
just dumb.
stupid. But
Just
yeah,
dumb.
Dublin was a blast. So let's move into London, which was night two was a very important night for you. But let's go. I wasn't there for night one. It was my son's birthday, so I didn't make it to London night
Oh,
one.
was it? That's
Yeah.
right. I
So
forgot
so
about that.
tell us about London night one.
Um, London night one. Um, oh man, let me get my memories right. So Thursday was a very busy day. We were in Manchester between Cardiff and London. We were at Elliot's house and we were just chilling there for the week, and it was great. It's just what I needed, to be fair, because it's been so hectic. One night here, one night there, 2 nights. So we just camped there for the week. And then that Thursday morning, Thursday before the show, 5 a.m. alarm, driving out to London 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Now you may wonder why so early, you psychotic little girl. But we actually had the Harry Potter studio thing booked at
Oh,
11,
nice.
and I wanted to beat the traffic. So Maddie and I are on the way. We get there, we do the studio, and then this is where my day got so stressful. We hired a car that we had to return at London City Airport. That's the one right in the city. Very busy area, slow times. What do you call it? Time limit. No, not time limit. Speed limit.
Speed limit,
It's like
yeah.
20 miles an hour
Yeah.
everywhere, brother. I was moving like a
Snail.
fucking, yeah, I was. And then I'm running late to return the car, and I'm stressing. Eventually return it, commute to the Nothing Else Matters private screening that they did. Quick thank you to the guys for inviting me, and they've given me this amazing book.
I heard
Quick
about it.
shout out to them.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's
sweet.
pretty sick, and then it's very well done, and it's got so many of us in it, like so many friends. That's like I think I know everyone in this book that's
Uh,
been like consistently touring with the band for the last year or so, last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is.
yeah.
And that took most of my afternoon. So I remember Friday, I wake up, I'm tired, eventually get to the venue. I think I'm running late because I'm staying closer to the venue than at most other places. But when I get there, it's a fairly big group of Chileans that I had with me that day. We go in and we wait. And I'm trying to think about London one without it being like a complete blur, because this happens to me like a lot.
Okay.
I remember night two perfectly.
Yeah, of course.
Night one, it
People
was
said night one
like
was fine. It was kind of like a bit of a generic show. It was fine.
it was fine. Yeah, I don't remember like anything that was like, oh my God, that was amazing, other than the energy in the crowd. But night two, it's always better, man. And
Yeah,
like,
of
if you're
course.
gonna talk about one night, you're gonna talk about night two, man. Like, you seen
What?
those videos going around for whom the bell tolls? It's
Oh,
like Athens vibes,
energy.
bro.
It was. I was going to say. I know we started off this podcast talking about Athens. London gave it a run for its money. It
Oh
it it,
yeah.
it
But
was
second night, like
second
I'm
night.
trying to remember night one, and I cannot for the life of me mention one amazing thing that I recall.
I want to ask you
But
about the stadium. What did you think of? I was like, it took me so long to find I Disappear check-in with all the bridges and all the different.
okay, okay.
I was not happy. I think I had it up in my story. I think I was like, Jesus. Like I kept going.
You were having a rough day, to be fair.
I was. Yeah, I was having a bad day.
You were.
I had a rough flight over on the Sunday morning. But no, like I was like, "Where's I Disappear check-in?" Stuart hadn't a clue what to do, and I was like, "It says bridge 3 or 4. I forget what it was." And like, "Oh, bridge 3 is this way." So then I went this way. I'm like, "No, this is bridge 5. Bridge 3 is this way." I'm like, "I just came from there, and they told me to come here." And they're like, "Oh, well,
Oh
it's
my
not
god.
here." I'm like, "You need to go the other side of the bit." I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I was so mad,
I
but
actually I actually do you ever use, when they send you the email and they have that pin that goes straight to Google Maps? Do you use that? Because
uh,
I do find that okay, that would have been the game changer because that will tell you exactly like the coordinates or where you have to
it's
be.
probably my
That's where the
fault.
flag's gonna be.
Yeah, it's probably
Okay.
my fault.
Because honestly, there was I don't know if it was Stanford or Stamford Station. It was probably one of the biggest
Yeah, it
stations
was on the other side,
closer,
right?
right? So you had to pretty much go through the shopping center like the Westfield, and then I kept seeing people with the tubes, and I'm like, I need to get my posters for London no matter what, even if it's a shit design, I'll get it. But thank God it was amazing
Oh,
designs, both
so
for
good.
pop-up and the shows. Did pop-up Saturday morning, I'll say that. And then yeah, I got Maddie to get me night one, and the line was huge, and yeah, she was under the sun for like 45 minutes to get me that poster.
Right.
Bless her. Because I was running late. I remember Friday running late because I was tired, bro. Like I had a massive day Thursday, and
Yeah.
I think I only rocked up at the stadium at 2.
Right.
And they were saying in the email like, we're gonna go in early, be there early, and I remember rushing. That's the only reason why I left Maddie, poor Maddie, lining up for the poster. And then right. So to your point, I found it fairly easy to get to the bridge
Okay.
because once I got to the big, station, just follow the walking path, and it was like 10, 15 minutes from the station. It was not bad
Yeah.
at all.
I got
And
an
then we were
Uber,
maybe,
which probably didn't help.
oh, yeah, that probably. And you know what? I have some insider information that I can touch on later. I think Metallica intended to play Wembley Stadium, but Harry Styles had it booked,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and then
figured
My
that.
Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
So, but Harry is the reason why Metallica couldn't get it, which is
And you
insider
went, right?
information.
You went to,
Yeah, I went on the day. Yeah, I love Harry Styles.
yeah.
Like no shame at all.
Yeah.
And like it was such a good day off. We did pop up in the morning, had lunch, and then took our time. We did a little bit of sightseeing. We hung out with Shep. We did the parade, the London parade. It was amazing to
Okay.
be amongst that energy, so much positivity.
Hmm.
I loved it. And then we went to the National Gallery, and then we parted ways and we went to Wembley. And I was excited, bro. I was meant to see Oasis at Wembley last year because of life and shit happening. I couldn't make it. But I was like, I have to go to Wembley and see an artist that I like because it's just one of those bucket list things that you need to do. At least
Yeah.
for me, it was like, I have to go to Wembley show.
It's an amazing
And
stadium.
then, yeah, it's unreal, bro. Like, I go in there and I'm like, this, you get off the train and then you see
Yeah.
Wembley
The
Way.
walk,
And it's
Emily
like,
Way.
what
Yeah.
is this? And then I couldn't help but think, like, imagine if this was the Metallica weekend. Imagine the branding that would be on the street. Like, I was
Yeah.
picturing it and I was like, a bit like, ah, man, like one day I'll see Metallica in Wembley. I think the
Have
last
they
time they
ever
did Wembley
played
was
well?
'07. '07, I think.
Okay.
But it was like it was a Live Aid, maybe. Could
Oh,
be
yeah.
wrong. I think so. Um, but yeah, anyway, I thought it was amazing. The stadium is so organized, amazing. And then the next day, I wake up and I'm thinking, okay, today's the last day of the tour. So already depressed. I have to go back to reality tomorrow. Probably won't sleep. And yeah, it was my 200 show, which also I think I've touched on this before with you, that I don't encourage number culture when it comes to Metallica. Like, it becomes a bit silly. I don't really think that you should go to a Metallica show to say, I've seen them twice, I've seen them three times, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. You just go because you love it,
Yeah.
You love it, you're happy there, it's your happy place. And then obviously before you know it, you hit milestones like you called it earlier. And
Yeah. I don't even know how
when
many shows I've
I
been to. I honestly
yeah,
don't
well,
know.
that's great.
Yeah.
Like, I sometimes don't know, and then someone will ask me, and I have to count back. And it's not like I keep an active count, especially between tours.
Yeah.
I do tend to forget. But actually, Lars, this tour was pretty consistent with me all the way to Berlin. I think he asked me pretty much at every show how many shows today, to the point where he had my count. He would come to me and say, I don't know, 190 today, 191. But he was always off by one,
Mm.
which is funny. And then I think the last time he asked me, it was Budapest. And it's funny because he gets so close and he's got his in ear and
Yeah.
God knows what's happening in there. But I do know that it's really loud where we are. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And then he's got whatever's going on in his ears, plus the external noises. And then he asked me, how many? And then I go like, I can't even remember, man. Say any number. 196, just to say something. And he goes, what? 196. And then he goes, 186. I'm like, no. And then I slow down. I go, 196. And he goes, 196. And I said, you are taking the piss. Because he kept repeating himself for like, I don't know, 10 seconds. And he then yells at me and he says, I can't hear anything. like I'm sorry, but I can't hear you. But he can, bro. Like, he was just taking the piss. And he knew. And then yeah, before you know it, you get to 200, because there's only one way you're touring, the numbers will only go higher.
Is there a video of that
But
moment? I feel like I've seen a video of that, of you and him doing.
But like I said, it was a pattern on this tour that he was actively keeping my count.
Yeah.
And like, it was great. The first half of the tour, it was great. We had a lot of that benta stuff, magic, that only happens when it happens. You can't time it. It just happens. He'll come out of nowhere sometimes. Sometimes I'm looking at one of those towers because James is normally talking about something meaningful.
Yeah.
And he comes out of nowhere and he's yelling in my face, how many? And then, you just answer him.
Yeah.
But no, he's sweet, man. Like, he does check in every now and again.
But it is like, I know you said numbers aren't a big thing, but it is a cool milestone to hit. Like 200 shows is a cool thing to say.
I mean, yes, I'm sure, like, for a lot of people that's like crazy, and like, even for me, I'm not saying it's not crazy, I don't want to come across arrogant or anything like that, but I certainly don't get out of bed every day going to a show thinking that, I'm one day closer to this. Not at all. Like,
No.
and you eventually get there. And when it hit me, because I'm not thinking about it actively, I think someone asked me in maybe Dublin, when is your 200? Because they probably would have seen that Lars keeps checking on me.
Yeah.
And the number is, I don't know, close to 200. And I'm like, London. I'm pretty sure London. And then they said London 1 and 2. And it took me a second to think, like, oh, London 2. Because we haven't skipped any shows, and that's it. But yeah, like, it hit me, it's like, brother, it's a lifetime of seeing this band. For me, it's like, I go back to little Camille, when I was like 16 at my first show, surrounded by sweaty, smelly Chilean men on a hot day in the summer in Santiago, Chile, man. And then now look where we are and the comforts that we have. And and the relationships that we build. For me, is a day to reflect on the journey. The number can fuck off. It's not about that, it's just the journey and everyone I've met in that journey, and my relationship with Lars, with the band, it's like insane. So naturally, it was a day where I was very heavy on my feelings, but trying to like palm it off, like don't be an emotional little girl right now. Like, just enjoy being with your friends. It's the last show of the tour. Another highlight was like we got Shep to come into the snake pit.
Yes.
Imagine you would imagine that was some hard work, but funnily enough, it was not so hard to like twist her arm about that one. So I was like, look, I'm gonna throw this out there. If you want, we can make it happen, but only if you want. No one's gonna put a gun against your head and be like, get here, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do
yeah.
it, like only if in your heart and soul it's the right thing to do it. Because this is the last donut in the foreseeable future. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's the last one though, but it's the last donut in the foreseeable future. So if you want to finish where you like to be, that's understandable. I'm not gonna have a go or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shep joining, big energy,
Yeah.
big energy, and we already had a solid group between my Chileans, Elliot, and his group of British friends that are all lovely as well, and then Shep, and it was a brilliant show. Again, we were jumping to For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah.
I was certainly jumping, not knowing what was happening on the outside. Now I've seen the videos.
Crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was big
Crazy
energy.
good.
Big
Yeah,
energy.
big energy. And then, the show goes so fast,
Oh,
especially
that
when you're having fun.
that was I said to Luke, or not Luke, I don't know who I said it to. I'm like, I think it might have been Shep. I'm like, this is the fastest show of all the shows. I'm like, because
Because
I
it's
think
the
I
last
said
one.
I remember like I was kind of in the middle because I was kind of a little bit dodgy from the flight earlier, so I was like, I'm just gonna stay in the middle. I was kind of bouncing. I said hello to you guys, and I was coming in and out. But I remember going, "Oh my god, we're on drums 4. Like what? Oh my god!" And I said to Shep, "How many
It's
songs are
done.
left?" She's like 2. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like,
Yeah.
"This was the fastest show ever. It really was."
It was enjoyable though. Did you have a good time? Regardless of
Oh
you
yeah, I
not
kind of
feeling
snapped
great.
out of it, and I got to meet my my Metallica contact in the pit, and
Great.
to wrap it all up, and I got to go for dinner with her before it, and you know I was so I just was like, you didn't have to do this for me, like she goes, no, she's like, I can tell what it means to you, and you're not a fan that's out there trying to get shit to sell online. Or you're a genuine fan, and she's like, I can tell
Yeah.
you have a good heart, and you just out to have fun and whatever. And I was like, yeah, well, I guess I am. But I'm like, you still didn't have to do what you did for me. Like I got an experience that I couldn't have dreamt of. One thing that I actually forgot to say was during we went to the Kirk Hammett chat in
Oh,
Budapest, and
Budapest. Yeah.
yeah, so me and Luke are walking down the street, and he's like, "Oh, there's a record store." I'm like, "Let's go in." I'm like, "Yeah." So Luke found a Thin Lizzy record that
Right.
Greenie was played on, Roisin Dove, Black Rose,
Okay. Yeah.
and he's like, "Let's bring this and see if we can give it to Kirk. We don't want anything." I'm like, "I'm sure he has it," I said, but he's like, "Yeah, but it'd be a nice gift." So we get in early, and we see Greenie there and the Mummy, and Justin's floating around on stage, and one of the photographers is there, the bald head guy.
Brett.
Brett was there.
Yeah. They're all bold.
Yeah,
Don't
he's
go
like,
there.
I've seen you guys in the pit, and we're chatting. I'm like, and then Justin was there, and Luke called Justin. He's like, Justin, hey, blah blah blah, and he's like, look, I don't know if this is appropriate or what, but like we got this little record. We'd love to give it to Kirk. We don't want anything. We don't want to sign anything. We just want to give it to him. He's like,
Present. Yeah.
unfortunately, he's like, we can't take gifts, with drugs or anything that's on it. We can't take the risk. I'm not going to lie. And we're like, that's fine. That's, whatever.
Oh, he went there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dark. All right.
But he says that's what happens. And funny, I was talking to other people as well, and like all gifts that are given to bands are like incinerated.
All right, man.
But anyway, so at the end of it, Luke is like, there was a guy holding like the base of a guitar, like the body of a guitar with timber, like rough. And Luke's kind of looking at him. He's like, I know that guy from.
Is this the guy that gifted the guitar to Kirk?
No, that's the guy. No, that was the guy. He was from Budapest. He was no. These were guitar. It ended up being these were guitar builders
Okay.
from Italy.
Italy?
Yeah.
I've known these guys. I have a story with these guys. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
So we started chatting to them, and he's like, Luke deals with guitars and buying and selling and stuff.
Instruments, yeah.
Yeah, so he mentioned some stuff, and then they were like, okay, this guy's all right. So he kind of was like, yeah, this is for Kirk. We're making it for him. We're bringing it in. He wants to test the feel of it and da-da-da-da-da. And Luke was like, what's in the bag there? And he had some, I think it was a Strat that was played by Van Halen or something. I don't know if Kirk, I don't know. And then he said, what's with the record? And we're like, oh, it's just a Thin Lizzy record. We were going to gift it to Kirk, but they're not allowed to take gifts or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. And he's like, we'll bring it into him. We're like,
yeah.
Like, what do you want them to do? Sign it and put your names on it? I'm like, no, we just want to give it to him. Like, I'm sure he has it, but like, it's a first edition. Maybe he doesn't, So that was fine. We said goodbye, and we took some details, and they'll probably come on the podcast for a chat too, talking about guitar building and stuff. They're top end, as you know, like they're big guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute, but yeah.
So the next morning, we took a photo together, and we posted it, and we tagged them. We said, "Oh, it was such a nice chat with you guys." Da 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 da. And underneath it, I think the first comment, it's still there on Instagram, that he messaged, said, so nice to meet you and Luke. Oh, by the way, mission accomplished. Kirk loved the record.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, that's pretty cool, Pretty
That's
cool.
amazing. It's a hands-off experience, but at least you're glad that it went to somebody, right hands.
It was a nice, like, and same way, but what's your experience with the guys?
So they reached out, I think, via private message, and they wanted one of my pictures from the Bologna show.
Okay.
Where Kirk was playing this guitar. I think it's a guitar that they built for him as well.
Okay.
I believe it was Bologna. I'm gonna say yes. Okay, let's go with Bologna.
Okay.
And yeah, I happened to take this picture of Robert and Kirk during the doodle. And Kirk is always smiley when he does the doodle, so it's actually a really nice picture of them too, like, having their bro moment when they finally, get it done.
Yeah.
And then he's like, can you please send me this picture in high quality? Like, you will mean a lot to us. We'll put it in our factory. And I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Is he like a guitar maker or something? And then, like, he starts giving me a little, I'm not the kind of person that, will be like, oh, you're not legit, fuck off, sort of thing. Like, do you want the picture? I happen to just have it exported on my phone. There you go. It may not be the highest resolution because I export from my iPad to my phone, not using laptops in between. But if this makes you happy, by all means, have it. Don't need to pay me because, there's people way far up in their asses when it comes to pictures and like crediting and all. Oh, yeah, brother. 100%.
Oh, wow.
Money is time is money, anyway. So I just flick it to them. I'm like, good luck with whatever you want this for. And then, little did I know that I believe they met Kirk for breakfast day of the thing or the day after, that weekend, somewhere in between. Yeah. And they printed this picture of mine for them to sign and for them to like have in their, shop. As in, like, this is Kirk's handmade guitar we make for them and for him. And it's signed here when they played in Bologna or whatever. And that was like, that is insanely cool. Because then he shared the picture with me, like, mission accomplished, along the same lines, like, Kirk and Rob loved the picture. They smiled when they saw it, and great, like, we'll send you a copy. So I think I'm waiting for a copy in my email inbox one of these days.
Cool.
great if it happens. If it doesn't, man, it made them so happy and they're so thankful. Like
Yeah.
I almost snap a piece of gold for them,
Oh,
which
they
is
were
crazy.
such nice guys, such down to earth guys as well. They couldn't have been nicer. We talked for literally 10, 15 minutes, all
They
tech.
were, yeah, they're very talkative people and like very
Yeah.
nice. It's two of them. I'm not sure with the names, but yeah, it happened halfway through the tour when I was the most tired too.
Mhm.
So I'm not too sure.
And then we
But yeah,
actually in Budapest then as well, we met oh, forgive me, I just can't think of his name, but he recorded the master class with Fleming. They did a recent master class of the first three albums.
and he
Or not
recorded
the
it.
first three. Yeah, Justice and Ride and Puppets. They went out to
Okay.
Sweden. Isn't that where he's from? Yeah. Fleming's from,
Yep.
yeah, Sweden.
I I think
No,
it's
Denmark,
Copenhagen.
Denmark, Denmark,
Yeah,
Denmark.
it's
Jesus
Copenhagen.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The studio is in Copenhagen.
Yeah, Copenhagen.
I
And
know that. Yeah.
they recorded a full master class with him, went through everything, for tech nerds. That stuff goes over my head. I haven't a clue. But
Yeah.
we did a podcast, well, Luke did a podcast with him as well. Really nice guys as well. We met them in Budapest. But anyway, let's not go back. Let's go forward. So night two, like we touched on, was a very special night for you. 200 shows. You're a ball of emotion. You're in the pit. You have your buddies with you, your Chilean friends. You have Shep. You did get an email the day before. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we got an email, a few, not just me, obviously, a few people to hang out in one of the towers after the show. And obviously, this was the day between the shows, so it had me in a state because you get that email. It could be anything, like, and from experiences, it could be anything. It can be like, do you mind doing this for us, or do you want to do this? It's always like an opportunity, like a fan opportunity sort of thing. And so not sure how much am I allowed to share. I don't think it's hush hush like I said, but yeah, like a bunch of us had to meet up at the tower after the show. And when I got the email, I was obviously in hopes that it would be hanging out with Lars like we did in Denver a year ago. And then obviously that Denver experience for me today is like one of the best, happiest, if not the best day of my life. Like that day and, finishing a tour. I didn't do every show in 25, but I did a solid bit of the tour in America and then finishing strong in Denver. And then you finish the show, you go backstage and you hang out with him, and he's obviously wonderful as you would know.
Mm.
So welcoming to us and just making us feel comfortable and just shooting the shit for a bit, really. And then obviously a lot of interesting conversation happens. So when you get the email, of course, my mind went there. I'm like, this may be a Denver 2.0
Yeah.
and 2.0. And a lot of the people, a few people reached out and said, did you get the email? Like the day in between. I'm like, yeah. Am I okay to expect that this is going to be this again? Or am I, shooting for the stars here? Because you never know. And
Yeah.
like, I always say that if you expect nothing, you'll never get disappointed. Like this is also a Spider-Man quote, but it's so true. Like the more you expect, the easier you become disappointed.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, imagine though for a second, is your 200 show and you get to go backstage with my favorite band member.
Mm.
It's pretty fucking insane. And I was already in a bowl of emotion.
Yeah.
So
On your 200 show.
I try not to put a lot of thought into it, and I really just focused on having like a really good show. Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
the show was fantastic. Like I will mention that before the backstage bit. When Lars gets on, and he'll reach for my hand, like it's a quick handshake, and then he sits down and starts playing. The handshake that I got in London too. My God, like how much you can communicate through a handshake, like what it makes you feel. I felt like this felt like an end of the line handshake, like we've done this how many times throughout the tour, but this is the last one. Like this
Mm.
one counts a million.
Mm.
It kind of felt like that. And I was like, man, like, and off we go, that's the start of The Office. And then it can only get greater from there. So that was amazing. And then I had a little sign. It was like an A3 sign saying today's our 200th show together. And then I quickly flashed it to him after Cthulhu,
Yeah.
and I looked up, and he read it very quickly, and he goes like, "Oh my God, 200? That's crazy!" He goes and like screaming, and everyone can hear him. And then Maka recorded some videos of that moment that it's fairly special, you know. Like this will never happen again. Like I'm positive, you know.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing, you know. And then yeah, the office continues. It's all great. We have James, we have Kirk, we have everyone there. And then he plays Whiskey in the Jar, and he gets up and comes to me and goes like this and hands me the pair of drumsticks. And I was like, bro, I can go home. Like, honestly, the minute he's seen the sign or after the handshake, oh,
Yeah.
right. So he's seen the sign and he gave me another handshake like this. Like, it's so powerful, man. Whatever he communicates through, like, it's getting right to me, you know, like it doesn't go unnoticed, like,
Yeah.
not one bit. And then yeah, he gave me drumsticks, not like I asked for them, not like I need them. Always a nice gesture, obviously, always welcome, always great to
Of
have.
course. Yeah.
Especially the way that he went like this, it's meaningful, you know, because when in my life, when I went to my first Metallica show, I never thought I was gonna see so many, you know. So here they are. I
Nice.
label them. I do label them because otherwise I get mixed up. It's good to label them. You never know. And then yeah, show done. I think when we went to the tower, I see the usual suspects, as I would like to call them, and we just wait. And yeah, we get organized to go backstage. There's a few filters this time. I did think that they were a little bit more thorough with the amount of people that they let through. Like I said, there were a few people that maybe tried to sneak in, did not succeed. And then yeah, we go backstage, and it's less than Denver, like 10 less at least, and we go to a room, and yeah, I'm having like Denver flashbacks. Like I can assume at no given time they tell you Lars is gonna come here, you guys hang tight.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for something to happen.
You still don't know what's going to happen.
No, they don't tell you, they don't announce it.
It just.
Obviously, I'm sure there will be people in the room that talk to people that know things that would have let them know that this was it. I just assumed that it was going to be the same as Denver at this point, you know. But when we were in and we like have a seat or whatever, they put one chair at the end of the room. And I'm like, okay, well, then now I can just then assume that this is going to happen. And then I'm overwhelmed, you know, like I came from the show, like I'm sweaty because it was a hot day
It was
and I
hot.
need to pee. And I remember feeling like so in my head about so many things. And I asked Jeff, can we use the bathroom? Because like I cannot sit here for another minute. Like I've been holding it for the entire show, you know. So they took us to the bathroom, there and back, you know, and then we just waiting forever. And he didn't show up till like an hour later. Norway was playing with Brazil.
Yes.
And then obviously we had the Vikings there. I had Tom there from Norway. So everyone was watching the game. Well, what else would you do? Just sit down in silence waiting for something to happen? We were all watching the game.
Yeah.
And the band was too, you know. I think my friend said like the reason why he's not here yet is because he's watching the game until the game's finished. It's gonna come out, and literally the game was finished and shortly after he came out. But it was like an hour. We were waiting there for a bit, man. And it was an early curfew show,
Yes.
and then it was like a normal time, you know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
waiting for him to come. And then he eventually comes out, and well, I will mention what I think the highlights were. He comes out casual, you know, he takes a seat and says, you know, guys, thank you for touring with us for a month, spending your summer with us. Like it means a lot to me, to the band. He always speaks on behalf of the band, but it's obviously coming mostly from him. He's the one there putting in the time, you know. And I'm always like, how can you just get off the stage? You play for how many people and you just sat in front of me, like obviously he's had a shower or something. He's clean, not like us. We look rough, you know. We look like we've been in the sun. He looks all gorgeous there, you know. Um, and just talk to your fans like that. I think it's so humbling, bro, for everyone in the world that shits on Lars and has a bad thing to say about him.
Yeah.
Moments like this, like, not only like prove everybody wrong, but this is all the things that he does for us, all the things that I value in him. And I've always have, you know, like Lars has always been like my guy since day one, Metallica fan, you know. I appreciate the way he is with the fans. Like he genuinely cares. And you can see that when he's on stage, off the stage, and whatever. So he's there saying thank you. And he said something along the lines of, I know like it's expensive to spend your time on tour, and like I'm grateful that you guys came. He said that it seems to be getting better and better and better, like the donut and the community, or the good times. He was pretty much referring to the good times and how much fun he has on stage with this setup and that. And he was just saying thank you openly. And then obviously he went into a few other subjects that I don't think I can talk about. I didn't sign anything, but I don't think I could talk about it. And then we went on to like question sort of round, but the room was so quiet, you know. Everyone was tired.
Yeah.
And there was a sense of, the way I felt it anyway, he was like, we're not going to be here so long. Just maybe anyone has a question for me. And the room was fairly quiet. I feel like everyone was tired. And from memory, last time I was the one that asked a lot of questions. I didn't want to be that person when I, you know, give the other ones a chance to talk as well. And I'm just waiting for my moment to talk to him.
So is
But
he
yeah, there were a few
kind
questions.
of like you're all in a room? Is he kind of just sitting in the middle and just talking
So
to
there were
everybody
two.
at the one
So this
time?
is the room. There were two rows. This is very good question, and I'll tell you why. And I'll give you a very good answer for it. There's two rows of people, and he sits in the middle. So when he comes in, he jokes around because he likes to break the ice, make everyone feel like comfortable. And he goes like, "Look at you! You're all like sitting down, aligned. You're like we're in a class almost, like a classroom."
Yeah.
And then he sits down. So, you know, he goes down to our level immediately. You know, something that I think is fascinating about Lars is how he, as the center of attention, you know, manages to make the room feel like flowing and keep the conversation flowing. And he will go around the room with his curious eyes. He scans the room, and when he finds something to talk about, he'll talk to that person and keep moving to the next person. You know, he will try and do that, but then he will eventually ask for questions because there's so much he can say. You know, we were talking about the World Cup for like 15 to 20 minutes. He says that he watches all the games, that he's been
He's a big
super
soccer
engaged with it.
fan. Yeah. Okay.
He's a fan of a lot of things, man. Lars is a lot, man. He's a lot. He does so much. He said that he was gonna be at the game, yesterday's game, Spain with Belgium in the SoFi Stadium. So he was there.
Oh, he's back home.
Yeah. And he mentioned that, but we were on World Cup for like 15, 20 minutes. And then, yeah, anyone has a question for me? And obviously there were a few questions. You know, Russell asked why they don't play more of Death Magnetic or Saint Anger. And then Lars, I think one of the good things that he said that stuck with me anyway, that he's got a list of things that he really wants to do before the end comes, whenever the end is. It's like a list of priorities that he would like to do. And he says, if we had the time that we had back in the day, and he always refers back to time, like everything is time. Like the older you get, you have less time. And he was very stern about that, which makes you think, you know, because that's an insight of how he sees his life these days, you know, like if I had all the time in the world, I would do this, I would do that, I would do this, I would do that. But yeah, he mentioned that. I thought it was interesting, like interesting talking point out of a question that
So did he
couldn't
say,
necessarily give it away.
they don't have the time to practice it again? Oh, what?
I think that would have been what he meant,
Yeah.
you know, like, and then they were talking about a medley. How about we do like a Saint Anger, Death Magnetic medley? You see, this is playful.
Yeah, of
None of
course.
this is
Casual.
serious
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, yeah.
You know, no, and I'm sitting there going like, is anyone gonna ask, I don't know, maybe about new music or something rather, I don't know, I don't want to say more interesting, but where we can get like, I don't know, insights on things that you wouldn't normally get, you know. You understand that they play whatever they play because they're old, you
Yes,
know,
of
but
course.
anyway. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, he mentioned the sphere. And I forgot, me, Camila, I forgot that the spheres are two, well, there are no repeat weekends. That went over my head
Me too, actually.
completely.
Yeah.
I forgot. And then I think he didn't want to give away too many details of the sphere, you know, especially funnily enough, the last time we were in Denver and the sphere subject was mentioned a week after it was everywhere,
Yeah.
you know. So it leaked from that room, which is a shame because he did say, can we just keep it here? Don't let it. And of course, but
Yeah.
but this time there was none of that, you know. And I feel like the questions and whatever we talked about wasn't really like anything secretive or anything hush hush. He didn't want to give away much though. And I hate when he does that because what's the point of asking you a question if you're gonna beat around the bush, you know? And you know how I am. Like I like to get a little something at least, you know. I can tell you, he asked who's doing the sphere. Pretty much every hand in the room went up because who isn't, you know, like everyone's doing the
E.
sphere. Nah, but you may end up there, you know that.
I don't know. I don't think so, unless I win
it's
the lotto.
it, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
I've just started looking at it now that the tour is done. Like I couldn't get my head right in it when I'm in the middle of everything else, you know. I
Yeah.
don't work like that, you know. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I don't know where I'm gonna be then, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I eventually he did come around my side, and I think I was screaming his name, screaming, not really screaming, but shouting his name like Lars, 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 Lars. And he kept talking and talking and talking, but he was just scrambling, you know. It's not saying anything important. I'm like, I have a question before we're done because it really felt like we were gonna be done
Yeah.
soon. His wife came into the room, and then yeah, it really felt like it was gonna be cut short. We were gonna take a group pictures, and I think Jeff went to get bread, so we were waiting. And I think in that moment is when I asked my question, because I needed to know, and I asked him if this was the last donut, as in London too. Is this the last donut? Because I need to know, and this is how I put my question forward. Like no bullshit. This is the question. Take it. And then he looks at me, and then I realized there's a room of people, but he got so closer that I'm not sure if he wanted to just give it away with the way he was looking at me. And he was so cheeky and looking at me in this way of like, you know, I can't say yes or no. Kind of read between the lines. And I'm like, can you just stop hiding it, bro? Like, I need to know. Did you know that all my financial decisions fucking loop around you and your band? Like, I need to know. And when I said that, he was like, I'm not hiding it. And I'm like, you're hiding it. You're not lying, but you're hiding it. And he eventually, you know, he goes like, no, it's not the last donut. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. Okay, thank you very much. And then he proceeded to say, we really love this stage. I could play this stage till I die. It's the most amazing stage we've ever done. It's so engaging. They love this stage.
It's kind of
You
funny
know,
that Hetfield came out and said, "Oh, this is the end of the 72 season tour." So,
no, he was not completely, how can I say this? He said this year. He used something to determine that for this year, this was it. But he didn't say this is our last donut ever. This is our last M72 show ever. The word ever was not on the table. And something, because when he said it, I was like, he was smart with his words. And that
okay,
was London too. You were there.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
were
I don't know
there.
why I picked up that it was like this is the end of the 72 seasons tour, and obviously he didn't. You picked up on it, but
I
that's what.
think I
That's
think
what
he
I
said
think.
this year, the way he worded it made
Okay,
it
it's
sound
clever.
like there could be more, and here's me dead ass. I asked Lars and I'm like, I just need to know. I need to know if this is it. And
Mm.
I can, put my memories in a jar and this is it. Or is there a door open for this to continue in the future?
Yeah. Well, like, look,
And
everybody can speculate, and there is rumors, and I don't mind mentioning it. Like, I've heard rumors that we're going to get another European in North America. You
yeah,
know,
because clearly they haven't played there enough, have they? So they have to go back.
yeah.
Of course, they have to go
I
back.
mean,
Demands
somebody
there.
once told me that me as Irish and you living in Australia, we do follow an American band. So, like,
Yeah,
they're gonna
I
they're gonna
suppose.
they're gonna play in America. I I have a theory that it could the next. But here, before I say this, do you think there'll be more music?
Yeah, 100%. Like
Really?
when they release 72 seasons, I was like, Godspeed on that one. Like that one came out very fast compared to Hardwired. They
Mm.
didn't take the piss
Yeah,
so long like they did for Hardwired between Deathmatch and Hardwired. So I'm like, good on ya, boys, for
yeah,
pulling together and doing this one during a time where we all had so much time in COVID.
yeah.
I thought that was
Again,
interesting.
I've heard whispers as well of another kind of Garage Inc. album, like a covers album.
I did hear that too,
Mm.
which doesn't really. I've always, when I think of Metallica covers, when I was little and I first got into the band, I was like, every cover that Metallica has done, they turned this song that in my, teenage years, it was a piece of shit, and they turned it into this amazing piece of work. That's Metallica covers for me. I don't
Yeah,
think they have failed at any cover that they have taken. I think they excel at taking songs that are all genres, so, all different, like Turn the
yeah,
Page, for example. You compare Turn the Page to the Metallica version,
yeah,
like it's fucking unreal, isn't it?
yeah.
So things like that, they really enhance everything they
Yeah,
touch.
I think what Garage Inc. did for me as well was that it opened me up to new bands where I'm like, oh, who's this Leonard Skinner band, or who's
Oh
this
yeah.
Blue Oyster or Sabbath or stuff like that, and that's what was good for me. And some of the shows, I mean, the proof's in the pudding when they say who's here for the first Metallica show. There's a lot of hands go up. So like,
Oh,
if they
80% of the stadium.
if they can put you know couple of thousand people onto a new band, like what would they be covering? They'd probably be covering 2000s bands if they did. I don't know what they'd do, but I mean, I
Oh, it
wouldn't
would
be
be
against
cool.
it. I
I,
wouldn't be
I, I would
against it.
find it weird, but
I think it would be
it's a
weird,
project. It's
but
a project. They're not gonna go on a massive tour doing covers
no,
again.
no. But I
It's
think
just
it just
something to keep the ball rolling
exactly,
creatively. Yeah.
exactly. I think I would like to change. I won't lie, and I think I've said it a few times. The producer, Greg.
Oh, that we actually need a producer and not an engineer.
Yeah, I
That's
just
what a
don't.
lot of people say.
I don't like the drum sound. I just don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of it. It's too digital for me. Go back to
Mm,
real drum, like Lars can drum. I've seen it all summer. He's still well
yeah.
capable. I would just
Yeah,
love to
yeah.
hear a change up, but I feel like we've gone off track a little bit. So yeah, so Lars, yeah, you had that interaction. So he says that we will see another donut, basically.
Yeah. Now, also on that note, what he did mention, and this is what may break or make a lot of hearts, that we haven't really said that this is done, as in M72 being done, and back to the James statement.
Yeah.
Statement. And I was like, that's right, because James kind of tried and addressed it in a special way tonight. But I'm just thinking, I'm not voicing what I'm saying to you now. I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so that proves me right. And then if there's more donuts under the M72, I do feel like they're like really milking it, as in like we're really stretching out the tour, because do I really see them doing the Sphere from now to like, I don't know, July next year to say something? Because there's more Sphere in 27 than what's announced. And then they're gonna do more M72, and they're gonna keep playing Screaming Suicide every second show. Are we really gonna do that? But it sounds like they will, And so more than that, because that I can, that's fine. They need to do what they need to do to keep the M72 flag flying high, even though they rebranded. They pretty much broke the internet when they changed their profile picture on Instagram, and everyone thinking like, oh my God, what's going on? And it's just rebranding. Everyone's sick of the yellow. I was sick of the yellow 2 years ago, you
Yeah.
know. So I get that.
If
But it
they're
doesn't
gonna-
necessarily say that they could ditch the donut. Maybe they keep the donut and
change the color.
move on to no, just maybe they'll keep the donut and they'll just keep touring, not necessarily under the M72
Yeah.
tour. I was trying to think about that, like
What
how they
about,
brought back the snake pit.
We had
They
the
kept it.
back to the studio. Maybe you could say like the before the studio tour.
They could do whatever they want. Like Lars said, all they don't seem to have a lot is time. He was very limited and very stern about the time topic. Like, I wanna do so much, but there's a priority for these things to happen. Obviously, he said he's got a list in his phone, which I thought it was
Yeah. I
interesting.
mean, I think they want to outdo the Rolling Stones. That's for sure.
I don't think at this point in Metallica's career that will be a priority. Like, they've done it, they opened for them, and I think one show, two shows, couple of shows. Like, I don't even have it like
But like
vivid right here, but
play it till they're almost 80. I think that's the target. Like
oh no, okay, yeah. I don't know. Metallica songs are quite physical. I'm not sure if I see Lars playing at this level in
yeah.
his
I mean,
mid
when
70s.
yeah, I don't think so either. But I mean, look, you got to live in the moment.
Oh, I do.
we
I know they do as well.
Yeah, because
That's
shit
what
can
they're
change
busy.
very fast. Things can change rapidly. From being in the snake pit, for me, just my opinion, I think they're killing it. I think they're really happy. I feel like they're all in a good place. I think James is in a good place. I remember Slane going, oh man, there's something wrong here. And I'm so happy after all these years. He looks like a new man. He looks happy.
Quite the opposite feeling. Yeah, amazing
Because I
feeling.
remember leaving Slane, going to Luke. Shit, man, take a look, man. They're done. They're cooked.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Yeah, James wasn't well.
No,
Not
but,
like
I
they
mean,
were all not looking very healthy, to be
No,
honest.
it's
They
even
were-
Lars, But now
Yeah.
they're a different animal. Even though it's 10 years nearly since that, or whatever it was. I forget whatever it is. They're in a really good place. And I'm happy because I feel like obviously the Sphere shows are happening, probably more North American tours. I'm so happy for you though, going back 200 shows.
Thank you.
And our friendship that started from chatting. I think I talked to you when you were in Auckland, New Zealand, and we kept in contact and chit chatting and.
We finally met and toured
then we met.
together and
Yeah.
shared together.
But like
Yeah.
you having that moment, and I know, going in there and meeting Lars and asking them questions, and I want to know how it ended though. How did it end?
Well, it ends in a bit of a scrambled eggs sort of situation. Like I said, there was this overall feeling of rush. There was, as you would know, a lot of VIPs in London,
Yeah, there was a
important
lot.
people, music industry people.
Yeah.
And here's Lars just making time for his fans after he's played a 2-month tour across Europe. It's insane when you take it for what it is, like the face value of it. It's insane that he gave us more than an hour of his time because we were there for more than an hour, whether, the conversations could have sparkled or opened greater doors. That's to each and everyone's discretion, But the little bit that I got to engage with him, or I did, he asked me if I was doing the Sphere, as in like, when will I see you again? And I'm like, yeah, Sphere opening weekend for sure. And then because he was right there and he was not going anywhere, like he parked in front of me for like a minute or two, whatever it was. I was like, you may may as well tell me if you're gonna be ambitious with your set list, because this a lot of me going to 1, 2, 3 depends on these things. If you're gonna be stuck on the set list, then I'll do 2, 3, 4, 5. Be happy with that. If you're gonna be adventurous and gonna intend to swap it up every night, you got me like 100%. Like that's what I like. That's why I go to most shows, especially if you're gonna have visuals to back them songs up.
Mm.
You know. And he was like, "We're gonna try." He said it's pretty set, but I'm gonna try to keep gaps if this, gives people hope. Probably as many gaps as we had on this tour, that there were not so many. 2 gaps per show at max. And then that's probably as far as questions. The last real question that I got to ask, everything else was, safe travels, cuddling, saying goodbye, all that stuff. That's really pretty. And then we did take that group picture. I did have to ask him to take a picture with the 200 sign. Like, I told him, like, man, what were the odds that we were going to be backstage today? Like, I have to ask you. Sorry to be a pain in the ass. And he was like, let's do it. Like, at any given point, he hesitated. So that was fine. Like, he's amazing. He will do things for you that he knows they mean a lot to you, you know. And then he tried to say goodbye around the room. That's what kind of happened. That's how it kind of ended. He's just saying goodbye to everyone. Then there's people going back to him and back to him, like stopping him from leaving again. I became so overwhelmed when I asked for the picture. I eventually sit down, and then I let everybody else say goodbye. And here I am sitting down, like looking around me in my head 100%, trying to store all this information. Hopefully it won't go right over my head, because when I'm high on emotions, I find it hard to retain detail. So I was trying to storage everything away, unpack, what I was, just had in front of me. Like, let's still saying goodbye to people. I just sat down. I was like, done. I'm done. This has been so amazing. I'm done. And then before he leaves, he looks at me, blew me a kiss, and that was it. I'm done. I'm happy. Then we get out, and we are bumfuck nowhere of the stadium. They escorted us out. See you later. And then the majority of the group walked towards the train station, and I was not too far from home, so I just ordered an Uber. I was mentally exhausted, emotionally drained. I just had to get home, pack, and then at 9 a.m. the next morning, my ass was on a plane to Australia, so I did not have time to
I mean, there must have been a moment on that flight. You probably took off. You're cruising.
I cried a lot.
And
you have no idea.
What the fuck just happened?
I've cried so much. This last week, all I've done is 2 things: being jet lag and just cry without a cue. Like, Maddie will be like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm crying." Like, I'm packing, because you go through so many highs of emotion doing this thing that we call touring with your favorite band.
Yeah.
And then the reality of home, the way it hits you, and then I have to go back to work on Wednesday. And I just find it so harsh. It's like you come flying gracefully, and then you hit the wall and hit the floor, and that's your life, And it sounds dramatic, but emotionally is how I feel, especially after hanging out with him 100%. It feels crazy rough.
Yeah,
but that's life.
I get it. Like, I found myself watching videos and watching, the Metallica official videos and watching them.
They're amazing, those videos.
You're trying to replay the emotions in your head, but it's never the same as being there.
Yeah.
I always wondered what it was like, talking to people like yourself or whoever that goes to a lot of shows. And I finally get it. Like, I finally get it.
Yeah.
It's... People would think, a casual fan, like, oh, what are you talking about? But no, there's a real sense of community and friendship, and coming from a show, like you talked about the emotions and your brain is vibrating. It's so stimulated. And then you jump on a plane and you're like, you're leaving it behind and you're like, I don't fucking want to leave it behind. I want to stay with
Yeah,
them.
it's rough.
And
It's
then you go
rough.
back to normal. But as funny as this sounds, I think the band obviously, I know they're at this a long time, but they probably take an adjustment too. Like even if you talk to a casual musician who plays a stadium to 10,000 people or whatever, that rush you can't come down. It takes you hours to come down. And I know Lars is a night owl or whatever, but I seen you probably seen it too. The photos like James was out of there pretty quick the next morning out of London. You know, I
Oh, did he leave the next morning? Like
yeah,
right after?
yeah. I think our friends seen him. Um, I'll tell you
Yeah,
later.
that's crazy. You see, that's the clear example. That's the difference, and that's how James lives his life.
Yeah,
No disrespect to each their own. Like he done the work,
yeah,
ready to get his ass home.
yeah.
Ready to like knuckle down and be
I think they went back to
still
Bologna.
at home. What?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, and then he went home. But
So it's like a little holiday in Bologna, or
so he
like
probably just wanted to get out of London. But like you touched on, like the VIPs that were in the pit. Oh my god! Like you
yeah,
had you had all the Live Nation guys. Luke Priest. I had a chat with Luke and Sleep Token Lighting guys. Sleep Token Production was there. The Sleep Token Management
wild.
was there. The guy who books the bands for download, Andy Copen was there. Blaze Bailey was there from Maiden. Fucking
Yeah, yeah.
so many people
So
there.
many people, and here we are backstage with Lars right after the
And I'm
show.
sure
Like,
they all were kind of pulling and dragging out him to have their 2 seconds with him. But for him, for that email to go out to X amount of people who's been in a movie or whatever is known, and him to come sit down with you guys for an hour, like you touched on, shows the quality of person of what he is
oh yeah.
and appreciates his fans. That's a fucking cool moment. I'm glad you got to do it again.
Man, I wasn't ready for it. Like you can
I
ask
wouldn't
Shep.
be.
Shep was
Nobody would
there.
be.
Nah, I was like, brother, like one of the things that I said when I left that Denver room and we got spat on the street of Denver. It was late at night, like 1 a.m. I said to myself, like, I've waited all my life for a moment like this. Like
Mm.
it was that mega, that huge, what it meant to me. Like, I swear to God, that's gotta be the happiest day of my life.
Yeah.
And then obviously, fast forward to London too, put in a similar situation again. It's the same situation, obviously similar context, circumstances, different location. The location itself, you know, like you said, everyone was there and he's
Mm.
still making time for us. Of
Yeah.
course, he was gonna feel a bit rushed. Of course, there was gonna
Yeah,
be a
like
sense
I
of
know
like,
Sharon Osbourne and all of them were there. Like they'd all be pulling and
yeah,
dragging out him to have their 2 minutes. But
yeah,
he
a
chose you
hundred
guys
percent.
for an hour.
No, that's amazing. Like that's unreal. Like I feel like a big part of me was sat there in absolute disbelief.
Mm.
Everything going in front of me like slow motion because I'm like, what the actual fuck is happening?
Yeah.
It's big day, big emotions.
It's big. It is big. But that was a brilliant way to end the tour. I mean, your 200 show to have that experience with your people in the pit. And I hope I was a little piece of that. And
Of course.
yeah, like I just want to say thank you because you and Shep have really made my experience this summer a lot more memorable, and the
Yeah,
knowledge that I've
100%.
learned off you guys, and like I touched on that moment in Dublin in that pub, will stick with me. To be honest with you, I thought it was fucking great, and yeah, thanks for having this chat again, and it was great to reminisce and bring back maybe a small bit of them memories and them feelings from them shows that'll stick with me for a long time.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. It's been a brilliant summer. Amazing to meet you guys. Being amongst it for 2 months. It really makes me wonder at the end of the day, like, and I always say this, I always go, what the fuck is my life? Because the minute I go back to normal, the dissociation of Camilla begins and it's like really hard to like go back to normal. But at the end of the day, the memories is all you have. And then the people that, stick with you, people that you've met, people that you made memories with. And, we are now friends and we'll keep in touch and we'll see each other wherever we see each other. And that's the beauty of it. It's not like I won't see you
No.
like in a long time. I'm sure I'll see you in the short time. So it's
Hopefully.
great. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you for having me.
No
Appreciate it.
problem. Appreciate. Hope you enjoyed that episode. It's been a blast to have Camilla back on. Reminiscing over the tour. It was absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed this one, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let us know if you were at the show, any memories that stuck out with you, and stick around. We'll have more content coming soon. Thank you. All right.